Hello everyone, my name is Mint Chocolate, and today we have part 3 of the Fontaine series. It has been a long time since the actual update came out, and due to the lack of time and definitely not my procrastination, that's why this video is coming out almost a month after. Pretty much all of, my videos are taken from my Twitch, which will be linked in the description along with all of my other socials.
I'd also like to take a moment of appreciation for my new thumbnail artist, Void. He is an amazing friend and an even better artist, so I will link his commission card down in the description below if you're interested in commissioning him. As always, if you enjoyed this video, consider liking and subscribing. It's free, and you can always change your mind later. Bye-bye!
I need to go collect a thingy. Hold on, wait. We're only 4 away. Wait. We're only 4 away from our next one pull. Hold on.
You're really just gonna go to the things now just to get a one pull?
I'm only gonna do one.
Wow.
Chill out.
I collected all of them and I was able to do a 10 pull.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You can't get out of there. No. No good. No bueno. No.
Teleport out to the water.
No.
Okay, yeah, you can go that way, but that's just a lot longer.
Like, it's funner, because you feel like you're in Assassin's Creed a little bit.
No, I don't. I'd feel annoyed because it's gonna take forever to get there.
It's not gonna take forever. Where is it?
A lot longer than if you went into the water.
See? It's only right there.
Do you guys see what I have to deal with every single day? I try to give helpful tips and I get ignored.
Alright.
So later, whenever you get the chance, you might want to pull or go all for all of them.
Come on.
You know.
Dang it.
Yeah, I'm swimming in that dough right now because I really, oh my god, I want Nubilet so bad.
Of course
Like, so
you
bad.
do.
And I will tell you why.
Simp.
I've seen the leaks. They're so good looking. Oh
Yeah,
my
no, he
god,
comes out
his
next.
powers are insane. Yeah, I know. I've seen the leaks for him and I'm literally like frothing at the mouth. Like, oh my god, this guy is so cool.
I could not care less. I like him as a character. I don't think I'll get him because of his playstyle or anything.
I will. You know I will.
That's because you're a simp for him.
I came here several times with my father when I was little.
What?
But stopped eating here as often after growing up. I hope the food here will be to your taste.
Oh, don't worry. We haven't eaten at a hotel like this in a while.
Oh, so this is when things start to get juicy, so you might want to pay close attention.
I'm paying attention.
I'll go order for us first. Please wait here a moment.
Are you, though?
I am.
I'll tell you if you missed something.
Keep in mind, if I do miss something, I am paying attention to both the story and chat and you at the same time.
Why, of course.
Yeah.
Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the food's good,
Yes,
I'll make a
Mommy
quick reservation for the
Navia.
rest of Spina di Rosula next time.
I love Navia.
Oh,
Mommy Navia.
Well,
I'm gonna hate the next part of this.
then
Why?
everyone. Albeit
No,
with
no,
only
no,
one
not like
dish per table.
because we're gonna see her sad.
Oh.
Sure have your own way of doing things.
But it's gonna show how they've advanced in their character emotion showing now. Don't worry.
Like a victory feast, right? We did just win that case after all.
Certainly worth celebrating.
True. Very true. In that case, boss, we'll have another 2 dishes.
Isn't she the boss?
Paimon didn't mean that you had to order even
No,
one.
of the establishment they're at.
Oh.
She doesn't own this place.
Speaking of cases,
I mean, I just figured she was so rich that she kinda did.
disappearances will get caught soon
Oh.
now that this has all happened.
Oh, you won't think she's rich in a bit.
We've certainly taken a big step forward, but I feel that's about it. We know that there's an organization that means to dissolve these young women, but we still don't know what they are really after.
Yeah.
If it hadn't happened right in front of us, Paimon wouldn't have ever believed that a person could be dissolved like that.
Right? Yet it was because this was such a preposterous notion that the investigation could never really move forward before.
Ugh. If only that guy could have finished speaking. We were so close to hearing who was behind it.
That is true.
In such investigations, even the smallest step can seem like a yawning chasm if the trail of clues is cut off.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might conduct.
Why?
It's not that I don't have faith in their ability. It's just that a different perspective is required in some matters.
Okay.
It's easy to guard
Also,
against
they
and
follow a
deceive a
god
single
blindly,
narrow perspective.
That is
A
also
shift in
true.
thinking is required at such
which is
times
an idiot
in order
god,
to
by the way.
produce a breakthrough.
She's a brat.
Which is exactly why the Spina
Mm.
di Rosula exist. Those highfalutin folk are not all-knowing. That's why we exist. To seep into the cracks where filth falls through, where their watch fails them. That's the kind of problems we solve.
Seems Paimon thought things were simpler than they actually are.
It's all right. Well, this was supposed to be a farewell meal, so I doubt you have further interest in this business, right? Let's talk about something else. Like, what are your future plans?
We wanted to ask the Hydro Archon for some information, but we haven't had much opportunity to
That's
do
true.
so.
We didn't have a chance to speak to her after the trial ended. It didn't really seem like the right time or place to do it anyway.
It's true.
I see. So, your primary objective, which has been foiled so far, was to have a chat with the Hydro Archon. I've heard that there's a long line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina. I suspect you'll be waiting for quite a while, considering that you missed your chance today.
Yeah, we've heard that she's super popular here in Fontaine, and that it'll
I
be
have no
tough
idea
getting
why.
any of her time.
Well, would you consider some more, unique ways? Perhaps even methods of, let's say, questionable legality?
Guess that's Spina di Rosula's boss for you. Chock full of sketchy ideas. Well, what did you have in mind?
Well,
These are out of
one way
pocket.
would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House, only to abandon your act at the play's climax and ask to speak to her after the performance. I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending, and would agree in order to finish watching the play. Don't you think?
Could you suggest something a little more practical? This plan seems pretty hard to pull off. We'd have to go learn how to act, and acting's really hard.
That is true.
All right, here's another. Find a way to conceal yourselves under her bed. Then wake her up in the dead of night and demand answers. Don't let her go back to sleep until she answers all your questions. I can
That
personally
is
testify that this one
breaking and
works.
entering.
When I'm sleepy, I'll do anything as long as I can finally get some sleep.
Ma'am.
Yeah.
That might work, but that's not really the problem. The problem is we don't want to get ourselves arrested.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Valid point. I overlooked that part. I was just thinking about leveraging a person's desire for sleep.
How can you overlook something like that?
All right, no more joking around. Perhaps you could... Oh, I don't know. Cut the line when she's on a break. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations. False accusations she had nearly upheld personally. I imagine that she feels quite ashamed about the whole thing.
She should.
That if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to refuse? Oh, that does make some sense.
I
Would
mean,
someone
she's
with
already
her
embarrassed enough as it is.
Yeah, would someone of her personality really feel shame
Why
though?
don't we give it a try after this
Oh,
meal?
yeah, no, she's
You know,
like, remember how they said she was like a deflated balloon?
Huh?
True.
Paimon, did you drink my Fanta?
Sorry about that. Paimon wasn't really paying attention, and the cup was right next to Paimon. Would you like to order another?
No, it's fine. We're just about done here.
Okay.
Alright. Honestly, Paimon wouldn't recommend Fanta anyway. It tastes kind of salty and icky.
Fanta. Is that like a what's it called?
Mint, mint, mint. Think about it. In your head, break it down. Salty.
Did we get poisoned?
Icky.
Did we get poisoned?
They tried to spike her drink with the primordial seas.
To make her disappear!
And Paimon saved her by drinking her drink.
Is that so?
Because Fanta,
Well, in that case, we'll have to blacklist the Fanta here then.
because it's
If
not
we're all
supposed to
finished
taste
eating,
like
then I'll
that.
go pay.
It's supposed to taste sweet.
Yeah, we're stuffed. Thanks for the treat, Navia. can barely float anymore.
You could try walking, you know.
That would be so normal. You know, like you.
I'm anything but normal.
Okay. As for expenses this month, we're left with. Huh.
Hey, Navia.
Oh,
What are you
she's
doing
counting her
over there?
expenses.
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the Spina di Rosula can't cover.
Oh, so she's not. Okay. That was a pretty pricey meal, all things to time on.
Let's get ready to try to meet the Hydro Archon again. Bye, Navia.
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome to contact the Spina di Rosula. I'll give your request the highest priority.
I'm going to say it as a
In any
reminder
case,
again, Mint.
I wish
Pay
you
attention
smooth
to
sailing.
every
I'll see you
detail
again, partner.
ahead of time.
Okay.
I just have to keep saying it because I don't want you to screw yourself over.
Okay.
As light rain falls without reason.
There aren't many people around anymore. Looks like that boat we took to Araneas might have been the last one.
Okay. Oh, she's back.
Looks like we're back here again. Huh? Traveler? Are you hearing voices again?
Clearer than it was during the day.
That's kind of spooky. Are you sure we don't want to come back in the morning?
Vache?
Hey, why are you still walking towards it? There might be something nasty in the water.
Things are getting a little blurry.
Hang on. Paimon can kind of hear a voice. It's calling for Vache, right? Hey, traveler?
Oh no.
Come on, wake up!
Oh. Oh no.
You're fine.
Oh, pretty. Where is this?
Are you my dear Vache? No, wait. You seem to be someone else. Do you know Vache? Do you know where my love is?
I'm afraid not. Who are you?
Wait. Who am I? I'm very sorry. I fear I do not know. My memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. So many fragments dissolved amidst the tide, never to be recovered. How much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while on land have I since forgotten?
You were once human?
Yes, that is what I was once. But now, I am but the consciousness of one who is lost, therefore.
You lost your
I
form.
do not know how I came to be like this either. I only vaguely remember being covered in light blue water, and then all grew dim.
Could she be one of the girls who were dissolved?
I also remember going to many places. I loved adventure, loved exploring places of peril. No matter where I went, Vache would go with me. I knew how dearly he loved me, and I also loved him equally as much. But now, we can no longer go back. The pain of such parting. I never knew how heavy it could be.
Do you need me to find him?
No, our reunion no longer has any meaning. There is no way for us to create any new memories. The thought of me gives him no succor, so let it lie forgotten beneath the waters. If you meet Vache, tell him not to look for me. Tell him to move on. That is the only thing I still remember.
I believe it will be hard for him to forget you.
Perhaps that is so. As I was submerged in the waters, losing consciousness, I saw Vache above the surface. His eyes were filled with such sorrow, such longing. If only I could have comforted him, told him that I did not suffer. Indeed, I had felt a great warmth.
Vache
Was a witness to the fact that you
Is
dissolved.
that what you call it? Dissolving? If anything, I consider it a form of release.
Mm-hmm.
It was a state of neither fear nor frenzy, with only an endless peace, like the water's still surface. I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time, and only then sees how they have lived for so long in a world of endless want and anxiety.
It seems that after the body is dissolved, some measure of the consciousness still
I
remains.
think I hear your companion. It's time for you to go, I think.
Ah, right. I wonder how much time has passed in reality.
Farewell, then. I am glad that you were able to sense my presence. Remember, if you see Vache, tell him not to seek me out any longer.
Yes, ma'am.
Here we go.
Oh.
Come on, hurry! Navia's outnumbered!
Navia! Maloose!
So cool that
Oh
he's
my
so good at
gosh!
this, even though he's an old guy.
Yeah.
Demoiselle, look out!
Why did he kind of sound like a southern guy for like half a second?
God.
That
It's a
was
whole
Silver
army of
saying that.
Gardamex.
Oh.
Chlorand?
Look who's to the rescue! It's
The
our
lover
girlfriend!
quarrel. Oh. Oh, I thought she was leading the charge. Oh.
Nope.
Hi,
To the
Chlorine.
rescue!
Hi, Chlorine. Come to save the day.
Quick, now's our chance!
Oh, she's so cool. Oh my god.
So cool. She might just earn my respect back. Wait a minute. She might earn her name back real quick. I love them.
Do you see why they fit so well together? Wait for
I
it,
know.
wait for it. They lock eyes for just a second, and then she turns away embarrassed looking.
Oh, that's adorable.
Oh, but
I
it's a
should
bit
thank
it's a
you
bit
for lending
angsty.
us your sword there, Chlorand. But before I do so, could you explain how you managed to show up here?
I
It's angsty, you'll find out why.
followed you. It seemed to
Aw.
me that danger has followed you more closely as of late.
I believe that following someone without their knowledge is actually called stalking, is it not?
Oh.
Mr. Callus's last wish was for me to ensure your safety, and I will not betray his trust. He would do the same, were he alive today.
Mm.
Do not speak of my father!
Oh, so he's dead.
Sorry, demoiselle. I was not strong
Oh,
enough.
it's a lot more dark
Thank
than
you
that.
for your aid, Miss Clorand, but do keep an eye out for your manner of speech. I believe we all wish to avoid unnecessary emotional harm.
Sorry, I did not consider your feelings.
Whatever.
Aw.
What else do you know? How did you come to the conclusion that I'd be in grave danger?
She was
I don't know much
poisoned.
more than you, but I
Or
believe that the mastermind behind
she
the
tried.
serial disappearances
Well, not tried to
is
get
very
poisoned, but like
powerful.
someone
Your
tried to get her
performance
Yeah, I
today
know
will
it.
almost certainly attract their attention.
Exactly.
I'm sure they've known about me. To be honest, I'm shocked it's taken them this long to act against me.
Hmm.
What about these Gardamex? I thought only those associated with the Maison Gardiennage could control them.
None of these mecha have serial numbers. I was sure to check a moment ago. They are not the ones used by the
Oh,
authorities
they're
to enforce
rogue.
the law. I can only conclude
Yeah.
that some powerful or wealthy party must have obtained them via illegal means, deploying them as a
Bingo.
private force of sorts.
Oh.
What?
Cause like
Your
you can
point being that
like
they're
you've
out of
seen
Spielen
them. I don't know if you've
League,
seen
then?
them, but you can
Yeah, no,
see
I've
them
seen
with
them
the treasure
about.
hoarders.
And do
Yeah,
not
Mhm.
with the
act
treasure hoarders,
rashly.
and it's because they've
I
been
will
stolen,
continue investigating
Ah.
no matter what. We will bring the truth to light.
which takes a lot
That's
of money
my
to
father's
rehack
true
them to
last
work
wish.
for you.
Yeah.
Regardless, thank you for your help today, Clarand. But if you get any ideas, tell me first. I don't much appreciate being followed.
Yeah, sure,
I
you
do not
don't.
think that they'll strike again anytime soon. So I shall stop following you. Good day, all.
Getting all the ads because I'm getting nothing.
Oh,
Right.
that's because you're
I
subbed.
suppose that's the best news
Yeah.
I've gotten today.
Demoiselle, I believe that Miss Clorand was being sincere with you. If we tried, we could attempt to thaw relations a little.
I know, she's...
It's complicated.
What just happened?
You're gay for her, but it's also
I
something
thought we
else.
were done for. Those Gardamex came out of nowhere while you were unconscious, and Nadia and her gang saved us.
Gracias.
Oh,
Yes,
and
yes,
there was
yes.
that
Thank you,
champion
Naka.
duelist named Clorand who came out to save us too. We got lucky there. Paimon probably couldn't have fought them off otherwise.
Oh, so you're a fighter now,
Oh,
Paimon.
come now. Forget
Thanks,
all
Nadia.
that polite talk. That wasn't really a farewell meal we had back there. Not for me, anyway. In truth, I hope that every meal we have together shall be a victory feast. As such, we're still partners. There's no need to thank me.
It will take 50 years for me to match Demoiselle's magnanimity.
If it were me, I would have joined the Spina di Rosula on account of her goodwill long ago.
All right, you two. That's enough.
Actually, Navia, how did you know that we were in danger? You sure did show up in the nick of time.
That's true.
Well, to be honest, you're the one who tipped us off, Paimon.
Huh?
Bingo.
Really? Paimon contributed somehow? Ooh, Paimon's even more
Oh,
interesting
did she figure it out?
Yes. All thanks to
Yep.
you grabbing my drink by mistake.
Ah.
How did that help?
After we parted ways, I was on the way back to one of our bases when I suddenly thought of what you said. That the Fanta tasted kind of salty and icky.
I thought it tasted strange as well, but I couldn't be
Fanta
sure.
only comes in sweet flavors. So how could it have tasted salty? The color of the drink, if I recall, had also been a bit off.
So the Fanta had been spiked with water from the primordial sea?
Woo!
Bingo.
Yes. So if you hadn't drunk that cup for me...
Spina
He
di
would have
Rosula
been
is preparing
dead.
the grandest of awards for you as we speak for saving the boss.
Huh. Really?
Fortunately, Paimon, neither of us are from
I
Fontaine.
sent people to Hotel de Boer to investigate, but whoever did this left no trace at all. That's when I
Ooh.
figured out that you might be in danger and hurried here as quickly as I could.
But why would they go after us too? All we did was defend Linny in court and help clear his name. Ugh, now we're caught up
But
in
you
this
also
mess
brought
too, aren't we?
their whole idolation, everything that was going
You
on
did
up to the
foil a plan
surface.
that they were probably
That
pretty
is
proud
true.
of, and almost got their name in the process.
Exactly.
Speaking of which, did anything strange happen when you drank
Also,
the primordial
do you want to know
seawater?
something? My
Well,
favorite
it
thing
can't
about
be coincidence that the
Navia's
traveler
outfit.
fainted just now. She said that she
Uh-huh.
heard that voice calling for Vache again.
The
Probably.
ability to hear voices like that has to do with one's sensitivity to the Hydra element.
Does that mean the primordial seawater raises someone's sensitivity to hydro when it's used on people who are not from Fontaine?
Well, it turned that person into
That
an
doesn't sound
oceanid
like
when it
too
was
much of a
dumped on
bad
them.
thing,
So I'm
to be
guessing
honest.
yes.
I also gained some new
New
intel.
intel? While you were out cold?
See,
Well, let's hear it, shall we?
a person named Vache was a witness when she dissolved.
That is important.
See.
Vache. That name doesn't ring a bell. I suppose he hasn't stepped forward as a witness in court lately. Since he saw that young woman dissolve, he was at least at the crime scene. But he never gave testimony or any information regarding people dissolving in the primordial seawater. Could he have been threatened?
If he's still alive, we should try searching for
Yes.
him.
Thank you. This is very important information indeed. We will continue to investigate.
Alright, partner.
Oh, you mean you'll help us investigate?
Well,
See.
you did say that our farewell meal didn't really count. That means we're still partners, right?
Yes.
And besides, we're in this now whether we like it or not. You're not gonna let those people who targeted us get off the hook so easily, are you, Traveler?
Messing with us will cost them.
Demoiselle, do try not to look quite so pleased.
It will
You
be
are
their
the
biggest
Empress Lady
mistake.
Rasula, after all.
Oh yeah, no, she's happy
You
girl.
talk too much. Well, in that case, let's head back to one of our bases, shall we? I'll arrange accommodations for you. We
Oh,
also have some plans to go over, and hopefully we can deepen our bonds as partners. But we'll take that one step at a time, I guess.
yeah, slow down a
Don't
little
worry,
there,
you two.
Navia.
With us around, our base is definitely secure.
It's right up ahead, but let's make sure we weren't followed first.
I've been keeping watch, Demoiselle. I haven't spotted anyone suspicious thus far.
Thanks, Silver.
Very good. But let's not let our
There's
guard
also
down
a
for now.
wheel on his hat. See, that's
you'll
right on the
find
bottom of
rooms
her
for
belt,
Oh,
and there's
yeah,
one
I
on his
see
hat
it.
too. And
Thank
it's
you,
also an
Malus.
anchor on top of
Now,
his head as well.
Let's continue traveling.
And you'll see why in a bit.
Pretty. Malus. Where's Malus? Malus. Where's Malus?
And in spaces him. It's turn around.
Did I lose Malus?
You literally. Oh my God! Stop walking. Turn slowly, slowly. No, keep going the way you were going. Yeah, keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Oh.
Oh, there he is.
So, this is your base? It's not quite what Paimon imagined.
It looks great, thank
Your
you. Very
accommodations
steampunk.
have been arranged. Under the present circumstances, I can confidently say it's the best we have.
Thank you.
Well, our funds have been a little tight lately. After all, we don't
Yeah.
allow illegal or unethical profiteering. In fact, our funds often come from citizenry who support us.
Which is almost
Seems
no
like
one.
Tough times for everyone. But if you have the support of the people, that does sound like it's worth it.
You'll find out why
To
it's
be
almost no
honest,
one.
Our financial situation was a lot better back when my father was in charge a few years ago. I'm afraid I'm not quite his equal.
Your father, he was the previous boss of Spina di Rosula, right? How did he...
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me to explain.
No, I'll explain it myself. I suppose I couldn't run from this topic forever. And as partners, this is something I hope they can understand. My father's name is Callus. Yes, the same one they call Callus the Unfaithful in the streets. 3 years ago, he was accused of murdering his own friend. But he chose a duel to defend his honor instead of standing trial. He died in the duelist's ring.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
Here comes the edgy
But
part.
I
Here
do
comes
not
the
believe
really
my
edgy
father was
part.
a murderer. I'm sure he was set up. At the time, I believed that if he only stood trial and was duly investigated, something amiss would crop up and prove his innocence. But strangely, he not only requested the duel himself, but rumor has it that even after being seriously injured, to the point where he could be deemed as having lost the duel, he refused to surrender, determined to die in the arena. 3 years later, I still don't understand why he did that. How could he
Here comes the edgy
protect
part.
his honor if he's dead? If anything, he gave up his chance to defend himself.
It does seem quite
The
odd.
closest piece of info I have is that my father had been investigating the serial disappearances case at the time of his death.
So that's why you're so determined to get to the bottom of that case.
Theory
After this-
time.
af-
Theory.
Okay.
I have a theory. So
Yeah.
I'm guessing that while he was investigating, the people who had like the water, the primordial seawater, threatened
Yeah.
that if he didn't die in the arena, that they would have taken out his daughter instead. So that's why she's still here and he died in the arena.
You're slightly right, but you're slightly wrong.
Dang
Alright?
it. Okay.
You're okay. You're
That's
okay.
right.
Remember, these people
Also
weren't in
tried to
trouble because they
investigate the
had the
murder my father was
primordial water.
implicated in. But
They
I
were in
haven't found
trouble.
a single new clue in my countless reviews of the investigation records.
Okay. They were in trouble, or they were getting shut down by him because they were making that drug that that guard brought up earlier about it bringing
Uh-huh.
great happiness to you, but when you pulled away from it, when you had withdrawals, it was causing anxiety, mental issues, and of course, it's drugs, so your parents or your family members try to get you off of it. So that's the reason why he was trying to get them shut down. And then he started looking into disappearance cases. So first
Oh,
he shut
okay.
them down, and then he started looking into them. So they probably might have had a hand in what he did. I'm not telling you yes or no here.
However, I believe that if the murder case is related to those behind the disappearances, they must know something. I must know what really happened. Was my father coerced? Framed? Even if he really did kill his friend, I must get to the truth.
It's true.
If only he'd been more open with me when he was still alive.
Oof.
He even hid the fact that my mother died due to complications when giving birth to me.
Jesus.
And now, here I am investigating his death. You really are a handful, aren't you, Papa?
For the sake of your family. You know, we're quite alike in this
Mademoiselle,
regard.
please, if there is anything I can do, anything at all.
I also will never believe that Master Callus murdered anyone. There are none whom I respect more than the two of you, demoiselle. Master
You'll
Callus
figure out
did
why I
so
said it's
much
pretty
good in
edgy when he
life,
died.
yet all it took was one murder case for him to be dubbed Callus the Unfaithful.
Because everyone
Even
follows
our
the blue
supporters
brat
decreased greatly due to that
blindly.
incident, hence our strained finances at present.
Wait,
Yeah.
Yeah,
if
because
Callus was
people
such a good
stopped
man,
thinking he was a good person.
wouldn't people at least be a little suspicious when he was accused?
No. Perhaps people just revel in that kind of drama. It's not something exclusive to people from Fontaine, really. Everyone's like that. People
They're
love
calling out
watching
the
the
real
evil
world.
turn over a new leaf.
Ha!
They also enjoy watching good people
Ah.
fall into an abyss from one slip-up just as much.
Bingo.
Whoa.
Never mind. If Callus was really falsely accused, we have to find the truth. He didn't deserve to have that happen to him.
There is one other thing. Master Callus's opponent in the duel
Not my
was
ship!
Ms. Clorand.
Oh, do you
Oh
understand why
god!
it's such
Then,
a yeah?
Isn't that as good as
I
saying
choked
that
on my water!
that's not the sort of thing that you can just let go and move on from?
Ms. Clorand has always placed great
Oh, I
emphasis
don't
on
think
the
I...
honorable nature of the duel. If her opponent doesn't yield, she will not stop either. She knew Master Callus beforehand and greatly respected him, but seeing how he was resolute in the arena, there was only ever one choice she could have made.
It's not that I don't understand her at all, but I just can't deal with this yet.
Don't
Here's
worry,
the thing,
Navia.
though.
Paimon knows how you feel.
You have to think
You don't
about it.
have to
If he
force
knew
yourself
her
to do that.
beforehand, what does that mean?
Afterward, Ms. Clorand told us that at the start of the duel, Master Callus requested that she ensure Demoiselle Navia's safety.
Which is
He
probably
intended to die in the duel.
exactly.
Yes, that is our understanding as well.
Oh, Papa. What madness drove you to ask the person who killed you to take care of me? All right, anyway, that's the information I wanted to share with you. Even if it did sound like I was just complaining towards the end.
I understand how important this is to you.
Thanks. You two should go and rest. This was quite a day after all.
Oh yeah,
Paimon's beat.
Please,
you're always
relax
beat.
and get some sleep.
Yeah,
We
you're
will
always
ensure your
hungry and
rest
you're
soundly.
always tired. I don't think you have much to complain about.
Paimon slept so well. This place feels almost too safe. Huh? Navia? Where did the other two go?
I sent them back to Poisson. It's
Poisson?
Rosula's place of origin.
Isn't that fish
and where
in
we have
French?
our headquarters. There's not much for them to do here at the moment.
You're close.
Paimon gets the feeling that you're just trying to get them off your back. But never mind that. When did you get back? Were you waiting here the whole time?
No, I just returned after going out for a while. I I did some investigating yesterday
Vache.
regarding the name Vache.
Wait, so you didn't sleep at all?
Jesus, girl.
How could I after having such critical new evidence appear?
All blondes are the same. They don't
Guess
sleep.
Karma wasn't speaking for everyone just now.
Hey, that's a personal attack.
Unfortunately, this name seems to have been wiped from existence. It
No,
doesn't
you
seem
have
to have
purple
a
hair,
match
Mint. I
anywhere.
have no idea.
I
what you're
suspect that those
talking
behind this have already taken
You know
steps
dang
to
well.
hinder an investigation from this angle. But that does prove that this Vache person is a key witness in the incident.
Does that mean we're too late, though?
No, there is one ray of hope. One place in Fontaine that they would find almost impossible to threaten.
Oh
no
no,
matter
this next
how
part's
much
gonna
they
make me
wanted
cry.
to.
Oh.
It did last
Is
time.
the archives kept by Chief Justice Neuvillette, a place where detailed files on all the cases in recent years are kept. If the Osea
I
Neuvillette
assumed.
is one of the young women who went missing recently, we should be able to find some related information there.
I simp for him so much.
So Neuvillette maintains
Shut up.
an archive of case files?
He's so hot.
Guess that's the hard-working Chief Justice for you. In that case, let's go talk to him, shall we? Aren't you coming along, Navia? Did you get tired?
No, it's nothing. Let's go see the Honorable Chief Justice.
Why? Did he like witness her father's death or something? Boom.
Halt! Please state your business here. The Chief Justice is presently occupied with official matters.
Hello.
This place does look pretty heavily guarded. Guess that proves that Neuvillette's files are really secure.
Hey, don't you recognize us?
Taking charge, be light.
See? They've got great discipline, too.
Woo woo.
Yep. Paimon can tell.
If you're here just to crack jokes, I can point you towards the exit. Unlike some, we're busy, so please leave if you don't have a reason to be here.
No. What I meant to say is, shouldn't you remember us from a few days ago? We were at the trial of the great magician Linny.
Oh, yes, I remember. I read about it in the Steambird. You must be Linny's attorneys. It's all coming back to me now.
We're here
You
today
literally
to
saw us
report
at the
and
entrance
archive
of
some
it.
information on the
Yeah.
follow-up case.
Huh. Is that even a thing?
Of course. Don't worry. We're here on official business. You can trust us.
Yes.
And then she
Right,
proceeds
I'll
to
let you
trick
through.
to
The
trick
Chief
to trick
Justice is
them.
just inside.
I love
Thanks so
them.
much.
They're so cute.
Please come in.
Yay.
Hi, man. Hey, pretty man.
Shut up.
He's so pretty, though. Oh, here comes the emotional part.
Sorry to barge in, Monsieur Neuvillette. We only lied to get in because we didn't know any other way.
It's all right. Please let me know how I may be of assistance to you.
He's
Sup,
so
otter
chill and
boy?
laid back. I'm so happy.
Sup,
We're
otter
looking
boy?
for a man called Vache. He may have been
Yes,
an
he is
eyewitness
Otter
in
Boy.
the serial disappearances case. If we can find him, we may be able to unearth some key information on the case.
Ah, I see. In that case, please wait here a moment while I browse through the files.
I'm currently making dinner right now. I don't know if you can hear me in the background. I'm making Alfredo sauce with shredded chicken and broccoli.
That sounds
Who knew that
good.
Neuvillette would be so
It's because it
easy
is
to
good.
talk
I've made it
to?
before during TPM stream.
Unfortunately, I'm
Yes.
quite certain that no one by the name of Vache has been involved in any case, criminal or civil, in the past several years.
Oh.
There are no records of him either in the files or in my memory.
Back to square
Traveler,
one.
what if it was really just a dream?
Is that so?
I'm pretty positive it wasn't just a
All right,
dream.
then. Thank you so much, Monsieur Neuvillette. We'll take our leave now.
Here we go.
Ahem. Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel.
You're really bringing this up
Your
now.
father, Callus, was a truly exceptional man.
Jesus.
We deeply regret his passing.
Oh boy, here we go.
Uh,
Be
And
prepared.
what are you trying to say, Monsieur Neuvillette? Are you trying to console me? Extend your sympathy? Or just express some tendril of regret? No. You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. There's no emotion behind your words. You only said those things because you felt like you should. It's just like last time. After my father took his place in the duelist ring, I pushed through the guards to talk to you as a last resort. You even told me then that you thought there was something fishy with the case, yet you still allowed the duel to go ahead. In your eyes, the value of a human life is nothing compared to those cold laws you hold so dear. If you truly
Here
regret
we
my
go. I'm
father's
so
death,
sorry. Oh, she's
then
crying.
why didn't you
oh
call a stop to the duel?
no.
Why didn't you give me the power to stop him from throwing his life away? Why did you just let him die? Despised and hated by all. Everything was hanging on a thread at that moment. Just the tiniest effort could have changed everything. There are still so many things I never got to tell him. So many questions he still owes me answers to. If you
I'm getting
really
sad.
have no heart, then just look me in the eyes. I, Navia, will show you the true meaning of regret.
I'm sorry, Miss Navia.
You and my father are truly alike.
I
You
might
keep
point
all
something
kinds
out
of
to
things
you in a
in your
bit.
heart and never say a word to anyone. It's not so much that you can't feel, but that you would never express anything. Oh well. In any case, everyone already knows full well the apathy of the Chief Justice. My apologies
That's a hard
for
hate you
taking
shouldn't
my
have
emotions
done.
out on you,
That's
Monsieur
just
Chief
rude.
Justice. Let's go,
Yeah,
Traveler
like
Paimon.
you apologize for it right after you say the saltiest of things. You don't just say someone has no emotions. That's just cool.
Yeah.
I guess she's upset and she's allowed to be upset at him, but like he doesn't have a full control over everything that goes on. It was her father's wishes.
Yeah.
Navia, are you okay?
I'm fine.
I don't think you're fine, girl. That's not fine.
Rain.
Yeah. Oh no, it's
It's
raining.
raining.
You're right.
Paige, hold on.
Wasn't it still sunny when we went into the building? And there shouldn't
Think
be
about
any
it.
active trials today. How
Think about it,
strange.
Mint. What
Now that I
did
think of it, on the day my father was
who
convicted
was
of
it?
murder, it was also raining.
What did what's his name? The twins' sibling say about the rain?
That was like 2 streams
Come
ago. You gotta
on.
give me a break.
Oh my god. He said that whenever it rains, it's because the Hydro Dragon is crying.
Oh yeah.
Think about it.
Is he crying because of the death?
Oh my god.
I
Who do you
don't
think the
know.
Hydro Archon is? I mean, the Hydro Dragon is?
I don't know.
Oh my god. Okay, we'll worry about it later. It comes up again later. Just keep going.
Ugh,
I'm trying to give you hints ahead of time.
it's not gonna
You're
work.
a bit love you, but you're dense. Love you, though. Don't
No,
worry
I
about
know. I
it.
know that. You know that I know that I know that.
Okay, great.
What was it?
Fantastic.
Did
Just
you
don't want to
think
hurt your
of
feelings.
something?
Your father's case, was he outside when it happened?
Yeah, he was outside. It was uncovered and the rain could fall there. Why? Do you think the rain could have affected the crime scene? That thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that, but didn't find anything of value.
But there was something you didn't know at the
Oh.
time.
Wait. You don't mean...
The fact that people can be
So
turned
you're
into
saying
water.
that the true murderer could have been turned into water? And then got washed away with the rain?
Oh.
Yeah. And if that's what had happened, then no one would have
I
Ah.
really think I found a true genius for a partner. You're completely right. How did I not connect the dots earlier? All right, let's go to Poisson. With this new lead in mind, we'll get to the bottom of my father's case for sure.
Dog is
Yeah,
barking
we're
so
gonna
loudly
make
right now.
progress for sure this time.
Do you want to go with me now? Or do you want to head over by yourself later?
We should
I
go
think
while
that's
the
just in case you want to
ideas.
prepare.
What?
I think you can choose to go. Well, that's if you want to prep for something ahead of time. Like you want to be like, hey, I want to do something, because this is meant to be a point where you can pause in between everything and go look at other stuff and other like. So if you don't feel like pausing and doing something else, I would just click let's do it while the idea's fresh. Because I took a pause on this quest and then I went and did some stuff. So you can just say, yeah, let's go while the idea's fresh.
We should go while the idea is still fresh.
Great. Let's go then.
Let's go.
Whoa, what a huge ship! Why would a ship be anchored at a place like this?
Remember what I said about the wheel and stuff?
There's no need to be so surprised.
Yeah.
While it may look like a ship,
Pay attention to what
it's
she says
actually
now.
Spina di Rosula's headquarters.
So it's the
My father
headquarters.
was the one who asked for it to be built like this. Perhaps our tastes in exterior design is the only thing we occasionally had in common. A gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless future.
I think I'm
Bingo.
starting to get why you like it.
Yeah.
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you said Spina di Rosula had a glorious past. Paimon was confused why a group with such a history would live in the sewers. But now that Paimon has seen this ship for herself, she's been convinced.
Ah.
Well, Poisson is where Spina di Rosula began, after all. It's our main base, our home.
Beautiful home.
We're back!
It's fine. We can get it in a minute.
It's probably gonna pan over
Apologies
it.
for the
and
wait,
camera.
Demoiselle.
Yeah.
Maybe
And
at some
our
point.
most important partners. You said before that you still had some business at the court. What brings you back to Poisson so quickly?
About that. It's because my partner here reminded me of something really important. You see, what if my father's case had something to do with water from the primordial sea? You still remember, right, Malus? On that night, it was raining?
Yes, the case was quite similar to that of Mr. Linney's. Both were what you'd call impossible murders.
Could the mastermind be the same
Could
person?
you tell us a bit more about what happened before?
Yeah, of course. Many years ago, something called synth began to gain popularity in Poisson. At a
Synth.
glance, it was a kind of drink that could excite your
Oh,
mood and produce many
it's the
pleasant
drugs.
hallucinations.
Wait,
Yep.
didn't that guard guy who turned into water also mention that the primordial water could be used to produce some kind of potion?
Yes, he did.
When extremely
Considering what we know now,
diluted.
it's almost certain that synth is created using water from the primordial sea. If you drink synth for an extended amount of time, you'll suffer many side effects, such as losing the ability to focus or control your emotions. And if you were to stop drinking it completely, you'll experience flashes of paranoia and anxiety while lacking energy to do anything. It's an extremely dangerous substance. As he oversaw Poisson,
So you get depressed
my
if you
father
stop
was
taking it.
compelled to put a stop to synth
Yeah.
abuse and called for a complete ban of it.
Boss's uncompromising attitude incurred the synth vendor's wrath, but no matter how much they threatened or bribed him, he refused to yield. Not only that, Boss became determined to find the mastermind behind the synth operation and put an end to the problem once and for all.
Yes, but the enemy was very cunning. So he could never get anything out of the dealers, all of whom only sold the stuff and weren't privy to the rest of the operation.
Ah.
Recognizing that, my father decided to contact the dealers in secret and cultivate personal relationships with them. Finally, he was able to convince someone to become his informant. The man's name was Jacques. He felt greatly ashamed about his work after seeing many families destroyed by synth abuse. That night, my father hosted a banquet at his countryside estate. He planned to meet up and exchange information with Jacques over some food.
Mm-hmm.
But then, we heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. We raced to the scene and found my father, still holding a gun, and Jacques, who was already dead on the ground.
Oh.
How did that happen? Aren't they on the same side?
Oh
Sounds just
no.
like Lenny's
Exactly.
case, doesn't it? In both cases, the culprit seemed obvious, but neither appeared to have any motive at all.
I
Looking
see.
back on it, though, I now believe the most important clue was something we all overlooked at the time. There were pieces of clothing left at the scene.
So they could have belonged to someone who got dissolved.
It's all thanks to you that I made the connection now. Back then, we all just thought they were some costumes that Jacques used to disguise himself at the banquet. But, considering it now, it's almost certain that they belong to a third person at the scene. With one extra person, we'll also need to reconsider why the 2 shots were fired.
Maybe your father got into
Pay
an
attention.
argument with Jacques? But it's also important that the third person was to blame.
You're right. We still don't know what happened. But my intuition tells me that we're on the right track to figuring it all out. I'm finally headed towards
Before
the
you
truth.
continue forth after this, let me
Jacques
tell you
was an
something.
empathetic man who was infinitely remorseful for his past actions. It's unlikely that he turned on Boss with zero warning.
Remember to pay attention to every moniker of her story that she just told you, every single detail, because it will become important to you later. That is all I have to say. Continue forth.
Okay.
I think this third person is probably the key to the full truth. On that note, however, even though this will not please you, demoiselle, as your and your father's butler, I must still offer a word of warning. Our opponent is insidious and cruel. They are extremely difficult to deal with, and Boss has already lost his life trying to bring them to justice. Even though Spina de Rosula has lost most of its former glory, Poisson has welcomed a new time of peace, and we have been allowed to live out our lives. There is no need to follow your father's path. It would be both wise and in line with Boss's wishes to
There's
step
still some
back
chicken on top, by the
and
way.
give up on the case.
If that's
Just little
indeed
pieces.
what he wished for, then he should have told me that himself. Was I not the closest person to him? And yet, I was the one most kept in the dark. What was the
I mean,
point
you were
of
his
him dying
daughter.
without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Did he manage to protect anything in the end?
You?
Synth is still here. Callus the Unfaithful is still his epithet. And Spina di Rosula is barely getting by. Nothing has changed.
He
Did
protected
he think
you,
I'd
though.
just accept his meaningless death and live out my life just as meaninglessly? I've never accepted
No,
that.
it wasn't meaningless
Ever.
because you lived.
Not since that day, and certainly not now. I
Oh,
want to
Jesus,
find
this
out
girl
the
is
real
stubborn.
answer for everyone's sake.
This
For the missing
girl.
girls, for the
Why?
victims, and for myself.
Hmm.
Navia.
This is
Clumsy culprit.
indeed the best moment to act. Your partner appears to be quite reliable, and more importantly, demoiselle, I think you're also ready to take this on.
So you do know something else, Maloose.
Oh.
Yes, I do. In fact, even before that banquet, Boss already knew of the connection between Synth and the serial disappearances case. But what
Why?
drove all the tensions to the boiling point was the revelation that you, demoiselle, had been selected as the next
I
target
called
to disappear.
it.
What?
Yeah, that's why I said you were
I
kind of
called it. I called
I
it.
told you you were
I
kind of
called
right.
it.
I said that.
Boss also didn't tell you that he had been diagnosed with a rare illness. The doctors told him that he had no more than 5 years left to live.
We would have died
And
anyway.
the serial disappearances case caused
Yeah.
him great anxiety. 5 years was nowhere near enough time to resolve this long-standing conflict. But once he passed away, all the danger would pass on to you. Knowing all of this, he decided to use one final intimidation tactic before his death. He claimed to have already gotten his hands on some key incriminating evidence for the other side, and even told some members of Spina di Rosula about the details. But as long as you remained safe, he would not share the evidence with the public. If something were to happen to you, then he and all those he told would immediately expose all they knew about Synth and the disappeared victims.
Right, so nobody would be able to get off scot-free.
As we've seen, Boss's
Whoa!
tactic has worked. Even though Boss has been gone for a long time, the other side has not tried to take Demoiselle's life.
Until
No,
now.
I don't believe it. He never appeared to look sick to me.
No father
There we
wants their
go.
daughter to see them weak and haggard, especially
Yeah.
someone as proud as Boss.
Mm.
Remember that saying that
To
love,
him,
like, have you ever heard
dying in
that
a
saying
duel
that,
and suffering lasting dishonor as
love's
the
going to kill
unfaithful
you, but your pride will be
was
the
still
death
far
of you?
preferable than losing face in front of
Ah,
his daughter.
Because
I
love,
see.
people will die or will get killed for their love, but pride can be the death of you in the eyes of another person. Yeah.
So he chose to die in silence so that he could protect me.
I'm
Yes,
afraid you're
Pure
not
Sode.
understanding this correctly, Demoiselle. What Boss wanted to hand to you was not a parasol, but a sword. If Boss's spirit could hear you telling me that you want to find the answer for the sake of everyone involved, I'm sure he'd be extremely proud.
Mm.
That fool. Couldn't he have just given it to me straight? No. He might have set up everything precisely because
No,
he
don't
never
cry,
thought
baby.
I'd be able to
Oh
understand him.
no.
Is that the amount of confidence he had in me?
No, he had
And what if I was
everything
never
planned
able to
out.
make
He
it to
just
where I
wanted
am
to
now?
protect you.
Yeah,
He
and he wanted
gave
to give you
you
a choice to,
he
yeah.
wanted to give you the choice to live how you
Yeah.
want.
I suppose that's true. With the way he'd set things up, if I had wanted, I could have just lived out my life without a care in the world. But thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. In this case, he really didn't need to give me an easy way out. Malus, what was the key evidence that he shared with you?
It's the location where Synth is produced. Essentially, it's the enemy's headquarters. When he was
Interesting.
threatening the enemy, Boss didn't share the specifics of the incriminating evidence he found. But if you want to use it against the enemy, you'll still have to take several things into consideration.
Why? If we know where the place is, can't we just go storming in?
You mustn't forget that we're fighting against a mysterious and dangerous organization that's been in operation for decades. There's no
Yeah.
telling what might be lying in wait at their headquarters. We also have no idea what kind of evidence we may be able to find inside, nor what people we may be able to capture. But a single visit to their headquarters would be tantamount to a formal declaration of war. The worst case would be that we leave empty-handed, but also open ourselves up to full retaliation.
Then, in that case, why not work with the Fontaine authorities?
Well, you saw one of them dissolve during Mr. Linney's case. We have no idea just how thoroughly they may have been infiltrated.
Huh. That's true. Seems my father really had no choice.
Oof.
But things are different now. It should be a lot easier to prove the other side's guilt, now that we've connected Synth with the disappearances case.
You sound like you've put a lot of thought into this, Malus.
Yeah.
I am the butler, after all. I live but to serve the boss and Demoiselle's will. I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk for your sake. But considering my relative lack of ability, I've spent my time keeping secrets, performing basic investigations, and waiting for the right time to come.
Thank you for all of that, Malus. Have you discovered anything new in the past few years?
Let me think. One conclusion I came to was that the enemy must be quite familiar with Spina di Rosula, or at least have an informant planted here. When I announced orders to the organization's members on Demoiselle's behalf, I used to deliberately keep a few people in the dark, and observe the reactions of the synth vendors.
He's smart.
If the vendors
Smart.
didn't change their
Smart
plans,
boy.
then the individuals informed of our orders must be innocent. If the vendors packed up and fled, however, then someone must have given them the news. After several rounds of testing and investigative tracing, I've narrowed the suspect list down to 3 people. The first is Florent, Spina de Rosula's senior advisor.
I don't know why that sounded so weird. I was trying to do it in a French
Surprising,
accent.
isn't it? He was one of the people Boss trusted the most, which also means that he was someone who understood Boss really well.
Please stop.
Never.
Thanks to his position within Boss's innermost circle, he always knew our upcoming plans and could thus avoid capture this whole time. There's someone else like him too. Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabriere.
Uncle Marcel.
Confrérie de something something.
Confrérie de Cabriere.
I don't know.
It's a guild in Poisson. Boss helped it to grow to its current size and prominence. In the beginning, they were only reselling some daily goods, but now they're one of the richest guilds around with a lot of business connections in the city.
Remember, pay attention to these 3. These are suspects, not guaranteed traitors.
Yes, you can say that.
Only one of them
When we
is.
were fighting against the synth dealers, they provided us with plenty of support. It's a bit difficult to imagine someone using their own money to hunt down themselves.
But it also helps them guide you in the wrong direction.
That's also
for
true.
coordinating information between Spina de Rosula and the guards. Although the guards mostly leave us to our own devices, there are still many activities we have to report to the local authorities. Since
Which could cause
Thierry
you
is
to
always
make
in the
false
know about
information.
our current activities,
Yeah.
he could theoretically
I'm
always
just gonna say
plan
negative
one
things
step
about all these
ahead.
guys. I missed the last one
I
because I was
see.
laughing at how you pronounced that other guy's
These
name.
are all people who I communicate with quite regularly. To think that the enemy we've been fighting against has been right next to me all along, among those I trust the most. It's almost too hard to believe.
If you want to
That's the
investigate them,
truth.
please take every precaution to not alert the quarry. Judging from our experience, the enemy is extremely cautious.
Of
It's
course.
true.
And thank you, Malus. You've provided us with a lot of great information.
You're too kind, my lady. I'm just doing my duty. And before I forget, proving Boss's innocence would also mean clearing him of blame in Jacques' death. After that incident, Jacques' wife and daughter were taken into the Spina's care. They still live in Poisson today. If it
Ooh.
might help, you could also pay them a visit. I can make the necessary arrangements.
Aw, thank you so much, Malus. You really are the best.
A new case awaits, my
Woo.
dear partner.
Leave it to me.
I hope we can work together to uncover the truth and end this case once and for all.
Woohoo! Chalice
we
Case
go.
Records.
You should have read that, but okay. 3 years ago on a rainy night, bouquet or bouquet goers. Sorry, I said bouquet for some reason. Or 2 gunshots outside
Banquet!
the house.
The word
I
is
know.
banquet.
It is settled then. Please excuse me and enjoy your conversation at your leisure.
Thank you for arranging everything for us, Malus.
Thanks, Malus.
Excuse me, miss.
This is going to be edgy.
Do you need anything from us?
Oh, she's so mad. Why?
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her at all.
Let's not bother
I'm
her for
sorry
now.
that I only came to visit after all this time. After what happened, I didn't know how I was supposed to face the 2 of you.
Ah, if it's about that, there's no need to apologize. After my husband died, Spina di Rosula sent us a lot of mora and support. I understood your guilt and apology to be genuine.
Okay.
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques? I can understand the kind of pain that comes with losing a father so needlessly.
You don't understand at all.
I didn't know how to face you, because I didn't know what I could possibly bring as a consolation gift. I know only the full truth could bring closure to you. And to all of us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't have to carry all that guilt. On the matter regarding my husband, my daughter and I have more or less found our answer already.
Would you mind sharing it with me? I really can't believe that my father could ever bring himself to shoot Jacques.
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times that if he could turn back the clock, he would never go into the synth business again. He had many regrets, and felt that he took the idea of providing for his family too literally. For the longest time, he thought Mora was everything. So when Mr. Callis came to him with a proposal,
That's with
he
most men.
accepted it almost
They think money's
immediately.
everything sometimes.
Sometimes.
He tried to be as
Yeah.
careful as he could, but even so, he was still found out by the higher-ups.
They found out about his betrayal?
Papa didn't say that exactly, but Papa did tell me that I should never be ungrateful.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized it was his final farewell to the two of us.
Does that mean someone ordered Jacques to take out
I don't know
Callus?
that for sure, but you could say that's the conclusion I eventually came to.
Oh, no.
Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callus had always taken great care of us, both when he was still alive and after he passed away. Even if he fired the shot that killed my husband, it was likely in self-defense. It is impossible for me to hate him for what he had done.
But Mama, why is Papa still the bad guy if he did the right thing? Papa always wanted to be a good man, so why did he have to do a bad thing in the end?
Well,
Mm.
things aren't always as they seem. You still feel like
Yeah.
your papa was a good man, right?
Yeah, Papa was a really good man.
What?
The best in the whole world.
Then you should
Oh.
hold on to that. If a good man had to do a bad thing, then he must have had his reasons. Regardless of whether he left you a parasol or a sword. He must have done so to give you a better life.
I think it's a French saying.
Thank
Yeah.
That, like, when someone
for
passes away,
everything
they
you've
choose to
told
leave
me.
you a sword or a parasol.
I will
That is
definitely
true.
find the truth.
Which means
The
they either
current
let
state
you
of
live a
things
path,
is not
like they
something
help
I'm
you
willing to
live
just
like a
sit
path
back and
of
accept.
Thank you.
peacefulness, or they help you be
I'm
able to
very
fight off
grateful
all
to
your
hear this
problems.
from you.
Yeah.
Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is really similar.
Also, both of them are
You
blondes.
really think so? That's the first time anyone said that to me.
Laurent, ha ha ha. They're gonna say that
Jesus
every
Christ.
time
Ooh.
now.
Boss. How may I be of assistance today?
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House. Someone got turned into water right in front of us.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've heard. With something that dramatic, I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth. And it'll be all the talk for the next several weeks.
It also reminded me, on the day that the incident happened with my father, it was raining outside, and we found some clothes left at the scene.
Oh.
After
Yeah.
my partner here put the dots together for me, I feel like we should try to reopen his case. Can you do me a favor and try to recall what happened that night?
Let me think. Mr. Callis was feeling pretty upbeat that day. So he was drinking and bantering away with us at the table. After that, he told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. So we let him go without thinking much of it. Who knew that we would hear 2 gunshots ring out right after?
Okay, don't fall out of the chair. How about that? Okay.
Man.
My first reaction was that Mr. Callis's life was in danger. So I grabbed my holster and made a mad dash toward the scene. But when I got there, it was already too late. Mr. Callus was standing over a dead body with a gun in his hands. All we could do was look back and forth at each other, not knowing what to say.
So you
Yeah, well,
also remember
Callus wouldn't
2
be able to know
gunshots then?
either. I mean, this was. Let's
Indeed.
talk about like
The guard
logistic
said that the
things.
first shot didn't hit anyone, while the second killed Jacques. But I've
This
never
would have been
really bought that
Callus's first time
explanation.
actually seeing someone turn into water. He was looking into the case and he had connected the two, but he hadn't been completely sure about the turning into water thing. So he would have been shocked beyond his mind, and they would have just been staring back and forth at each other. Because if I saw someone turn into water in front of me when they killed my friend and then I had the murder weapon, I would be so confused and shocked when someone came up and was like, "What the heck just happened here?"
Reason being, Mr. Callus had left his gun on the table. I even made sure to confirm that before running to the scene.
Oh, so it
But
wasn't
according
his
to
gun.
the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other guns on his person.
That doesn't make any sense.
About the clothes
Yeah,
left at
why
the
would he
scene that you
leave
mentioned.
only one gun
Do
at
you
the
think there
table?
was a third person there who was turned into water?
It's very
At least from
possible.
our
Bingo.
perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So he would also have no reason to bring an extra gun with him.
Yeah.
The gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques, or a third person on the scene.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you're saying Mr. Callus ended up with the gun because he seized it from one of the other guys?
Bingo. Probably tries to seize.
But
He
hold
probably
on.
because
If
it makes
that's
more
what had
sense for him to
happened,
try
then
to seize
why
it away
didn't he
from
share
like
the truth with any of us?
the murderer.
He didn't even want to face the Oratrice machine, and chose instead to prove his honor in a duel. Did he lose all faith in the courts after seeing someone dissolve right in front of his eyes?
I don't know.
About that, Malouse told me a thing or two. So, I think I can understand why he committed to the duel. I'll tell you everything once the whole truth has been revealed.
I understand. Then I'll leave Mr. Callus's honor in your hands, boss.
Woo-hoo.
And if I may just say one more thing. The whole Callus the Unfaithful epithet has been a thorn in my side since the day it was invented. Many people have laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Callus, even after so many years have passed. But it was Mr. Callus's trust that allowed me to rise through the ranks of Spina di Rosula and live the life I lead today. No matter what others might say, he'll always be the man I respect the most. And he'll always be my boss.
Don't worry. I will definitely find the truth. You and all our other comrades at the Spina deserve to know the truth as well. Hey, Thierry! It's me!
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss Navia? I've heard that you made quite the name for yourself at the Opera House.
Oh, so you've caught news of that already.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm also a member of the guards, you know. The way you make it sound, people would think I was sent off to Poisson because I had done something wrong.
Are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that? Under normal circumstances, shouldn't you have been called back to the city already?
I mean, where I work is really up to me. Let's just say I enjoy the ambiance of Poisson. Callus did a fantastic job running the town, building Spina di Rosula from the ground up and clearing many obstructions in my way. It would be next to impossible for me to find a similarly easy but high-paying job in the city. Anyway, enough chit-chat. Are these two friends of yours?
See,
you,
partners.
here for some formal business?
Yes. These two are my partners. What happened at the Opera House made us realize that
I like to
Lenny's
imagine
case and my father's.
when they're
You
saying
cut out
when she's
so
saying these two,
much.
it's talking about
We're
me and
trying
you.
to reinvestigate
Oh, am
the
I?
details of my father's
Yeah.
old
Oh
case.
boy.
Ah, I get it. You think there
Oh
might be
good God,
more
am I
to the
cutting out
case
now?
that we
No.
know people can be
I heard you
dissolved
though.
in
Okay.
water, right? I
I
was
heard what
also
you said.
flabbergasted when I first heard of it.
Okay,
If you
good.
want to go through the original files from your father's case, I can help you look for them.
That'd be much appreciated. Thank you. Actually, I have another question. Do you have the authority to dispatch Gardamex?
Of course. Without them, I couldn't possibly handle Poisson on my own. Why do you ask?
Hmm.
We definitely can't use
Think about it, though. Wait,
more evidence
wait
for your
for
father's
it. Think
case.
about it.
Well, you see, just recently, we were attacked by a horde of unnumbered Gardamex in the city. So, if you hypothetically wanted to do something against me, all you would need to do is get rid of the mecha serial numbers and send them after me.
Then you think too highly of my abilities. Dispatching mecha is very different from controlling them. If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. You can ask the chef to cook, but not to massage your shoulders or carry your baggage. If you try to make unreasonable demands, the chef would just think you're out of your mind and ignore you completely. The same goes for me and my Gardamex. Removing a serial number is also not as easy as you might think. There are a lot of complex steps to it, and it's almost impossible to keep it a secret. So I can promise you, those mecha were definitely private units.
Okay.
They're certainly not cheap. So whoever their owner is must be super rich, powerful, or both. Now that you mention it, though, being in the synth business would definitely be profitable enough to afford this.
Makes sense.
Oh. Then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Ah.
Oh, well, thank you for the vote of confidence, Navia. Jokes aside, I'd like to wish you all the best with your investigation. I'll be staying in the city for a little while, so just come find me if you need any support from the guards.
Boom.
Hello, how may I help you? I'm here to see Marcel. Could you please let him know? You can just say Navia's looking for him. Sure, I will let him know right away.
Navia, hello.
Bonjour.
Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as young as I used to be, so my legs are giving out a bit.
Okay.
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Marcel. There's no need to stress. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about what happened in the Opera House. I'm sure you saw everything too, right?
Yes, I've never seen anything so strange.
Oh, you were at the Opera House too?
That's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn into a whole murder mystery?
Yeah.
I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite impressive. To beat the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf, I can already imagine everyone in Fontaine discussing your exploits over a few glasses of wine.
Oh, Paimon doesn't want to become the talk of drunkards.
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nation. Everyone loves drama and theatrics.
That is true.
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that.
That's how it is in the real world. Everyone likes drama.
Yeah, that is also true.
Yes, I was reminded of your father's case right away. Is that what you're investigating now?
Exactly. I still don't have much solid proof, but I can sense that the other side has already begun to act.
Oh, and what makes you say that?
We were attacked in Araneus by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also an attempt to get me to drink water from the primordial sea.
Yeah.
If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be here talking to you right now.
Dog!
Oh, you're giving us too much credit. Wasn't it you who protected us?
Alas, it seems things are heating up again. The peace that Callus sought so dearly will soon become a thing of the past. But rest assured, Navia, Poisson will always remain a safe haven for you. If you're scared, you can always return there. If anyone dares to lay their hands on you there, the Confrérie of Cabrières will use its funds to the last Mora to bring them to justice.
Thank you, Uncle Marcel. But I don't intend to go into hiding. I'm going to strike while the iron's hot.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I was about to say.
About that. Sorry, my age is catching up with me, so it'll take me a while to recall my memory. The Confrérie was responsible for that banquet, so I was out and about the whole time making sure things were running smoothly. I didn't even have the time to drink with the guests.
Hmm.
Then I heard the sound of a gunshot.
A
and the rest was
gunshot?
history.
There were two.
Oh, it's okay. No need to push yourself. We'll ask around some more. See if there are any
Isn't that very
valuable clues
suspicious?
elsewhere.
Did you know it's a
Sounds
fun
good.
fact that usually
Just
when
let me
people
know
do
if you
something
ever need
wrong, they
more.
tend to accidentally change the story by accident in their own head to
All
make
my wealth
themselves
comes
more
from
the
Callus's
victim.
patronage and support.
Yeah.
I'll spend however much it takes to clear his name.
All my wealth, huh?
Isn't it funny how his business was really small and all of a sudden it started booming after a little bit of
Yeah.
help from the Spinach?
Ain't it funny? Ain't it funny?
Yeah.
He wants to
You
go
can
up
climb up
there?
the wall. Yeah, you can just climb up the wall and it'll take you right away up there without you having to climb it all the way.
Oh, woo!
Yeah.
We've talked to all three suspects, purely based on their conversations with me.
Marcel, in my
None
opinion.
of them sounded particularly suspicious.
Marcel! Yeah, none of them really stood out as a suspect.
I suppose that's
Marcel!
to be expected, though. If a single conversation's all that's needed to find them
I'm
out,
yelling at you
then
through
my
the
father
screen.
wouldn't have needed to investigate the case for so many years. Anyway, even though we didn't make a breakthrough, let's still compile what we were able to find.
But where should we start?
Jacques' motive.
Ah, you're right! Flora mentioned that Callus
Florent,
probably only ended up with the gun because of circumstance. That makes sense.
According to Jacques' family members, he already told them that he had been discovered and that he had no choice before he left home that day. If I had to guess, he probably received an order from the synth boss to kill my father. Had he refused, he and his family's lives would have been forfeit.
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
Oh. If I was Jacques, I wouldn't have fired a shot at all.
And why is that?
Could he guarantee his safety after killing Callus?
I would say his family's safety.
His family's safety.
Oh, that's a good point. Jacques probably already knew that he was just being used as a tool for murder. And once he had completed his mission, he'd be of no more use to his boss.
So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn his back on the order and seek protection from my father.
Seems the third person was the one who derailed everything.
Makes sense. But without evidence, that's still just a theory.
A game theory. Thanks for watching.
The attack from the garden
That's a reference.
quite a bit as well.
A YouTube
It's obvious
reference.
that our enemy has become more antsy after the secret of the primordial seawater was revealed.
Do you think he knew, even then, that we'd follow this lead to the end?
Given everything that's happened since, it's quite possible. But who among the three suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex?
Marcel!
Uncle Marcel? My father did really trust him. And they worked together on a large number of projects.
Remember, stick
Maybe
with
that's
your
how he got to
answer.
know Jacques. And with funds from the
Okay.
Confurie, he could also afford a large number of Gardamex. Still really hard for me to imagine, though. After all, Uncle Marcel has been around since I was just a child.
That's true.
Also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole lot of Mora and energy to fight his own synth business?
Alright.
You know, if you think everything through, Uncle Marcel is indeed the most suspicious of them all.
Could we be missing other suspects? Malus didn't know about the people turning into water thing when he narrowed it down to these three, did he?
True.
Malus has always been very reliable, and his judgment of others' trustworthiness has been fair and well considered. When he laid out his case for the three, the rationale he gave me made a lot of sense as well. The suspect is knowledgeable about the Spina's internal affairs, has the means to dispatch Mecha to assassinate us, and possesses significant intellect and foresight.
Yeah.
Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all tie back to Uncle Marcel.
He is someone who's very close to you after all.
We still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
The synth production base.
Yes, Malus did say that charging straight in there would be extremely risky. But we don't have any other options right now. We need far more solid proof
Things are
before we
about
can
to get
hope
really
to go
hot
charging in on our
in
enemy.
here.
Yeah.
Navia, Here you are.
Jerry!
Here we go.
I've been looking for you.
Oh dear.
Here comes the hot stuff.
Huh? Aren't you the guy from the guards?
Got
Did
some
something happen?
Wait for it.
The
This is
news
important.
came from Irenaeus just after you left. We've got
Trial!
another trial on our hands.
There we
Wasn't that
go.
place built specifically for holding trials? What's so newsworthy about this one?
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called Tartaglia.
Trial?
What? Is that someone you know?
Yes!
Yeah, we know him.
Maybe even a little too well.
Well, he's been accused of being the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case.
What?
It's absurd, don't you think?
He wasn't even there.
How? None of our investigations have had anything to do with him.
Thank you.
I needed to pause. Pause. Pause everything. It couldn't have been Child.
Exactly.
It couldn't have been Tartaglia.
Mm-hmm.
What?
It's impossible. He couldn't have been there 20
He
years ago.
wasn't there.
Exactly.
If he wasn't there, how could he have done that?
He literally arrived like right before Lenny's performance, but he never even showed up to the performance. Number one. Number two. It would. Number two, he hasn't been to Fontaine the past 20 years. Like he said, oh, this is like one of my first visits. I come here every now and again, but he doesn't come
Yeah,
here
but
every. Like 20 years ago, he wasn't even a Fatui Harbinger yet.
What?
I think someone's just trying him so that he gets, because remember the initial idea was to push the blame off onto the Fatui. They're doing it again.
Yeah, they're doing it again. I think they just don't like the Fatui so much that it's
Now they're just trying to push the blame onto him.
yeah, just like, oh, he's a Fatui, so it's obvious he's been doing it then, even with no spare evidence. What?
Yeah.
That's what I thought was strange about it, so I came to tell you the news right away. If the charge against
he's
him
a good
stands,
guy.
then it'll be next to impossible to get the guards to support any of our planned investigations.
Right. Because they'll think they've already found the culprit.
Yeah.
Bingo.
And it'll be a lot harder then to clear Mr. Callus's name.
I understand. Well, partner, what do you think we should do? We still haven't found any conclusive evidence.
It's time to become attorneys again.
Huh? Split up? What do you mean?
You can go to Irenaeus while I investigate that place. I'm confident in my combat abilities.
Just as expected of my partner.
Woo!
Since this is a trial about the serial disappearances case, the culprit's attention will be focused on Irenaeus, leaving his home base wide open. You're right. This is our best opportunity. All right then, let's do this. I'll stall them at the Opera House and charge Marcel as the true culprit. I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be up to you to make it back in time and hand the decisive evidence to me.
Leave it to me.
We'll help you, just like you helped us in Lenny's trial.
Yes, ma'am.
Mademoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
You're gonna do another situation of breaking into the courtroom like, objection, Your Honor.
When did you two get
here? Objection! Child is innocent!
that you might require.
Mother truckers!
It's our hope
yeah.
that your confidence will be bolstered.
Just like,
with the two of us
it's like
by your
you
side.
go in, guns blazing, you kick down the door, just go, hey, I object!
Thank you so much. Then, let's make haste for Irenaeus. Paimon.
Oh, that's how you pronounce it.
See you at
Irenaeus.
the Opera House.
Yeah.
I said Irenaeus.
Yeah, it's an Oculus right there. That's where the entrance is, believe it or not.
Oh, no!
Found it.
I hate you.
So this is the entrance that leads to the synth production base.
It has
Well, they
an
don't want it to
Oculus right in
stand
front of it.
out.
Ordinary at all?
No, they don't want it to stand out, Paimon.
You're right. An important place like this is bound to have a ton of protective measures and mechanisms. Navia's probably arguing up a storm right now to stall for us.
So let's go! They don't want to keep the pretty lady waiting.
And now we switch back to where she is right now.
Oh god.
It would appear that I must repeat my question again, Mr. Tartaglia.
Ooh.
Do you accept the charge that you are the true culprit behind the serial
No!
disappearances?
I object!
Wait, listen to this
I
reaction.
don't understand your country's complicated court system, or the reason why I'm being charged with something I've never even heard of. However, I did hear that people who have been charged can choose to participate in a duel to clear their name.
He just wants to
Is that
participate
right?
in a duel.
In which case, as long as I accept the charge, I can have an all-out fight with that champion duelist Clorend, right? I've got to admit, that's one of the most enticing offers I've ever received. When I privately
He really
sparred
wants
with
to
her
fight her
last
too.
time, she was obviously holding back. Real disappointing.
Hey, don't you understand? You're currently the prime suspect for a major case. This isn't the place for you to
He shouldn't be the prime suspect.
Oh? Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants to lecture me on the ways of the Opera House. Then why don't
He's giving her
you
lip.
duel
Good
me
job.
too? I'm the kind of student that learns best in the heat of battle.
No. That's not what I meant.
Alas, it would appear that communication with the defendant
You
is
blue
going
chicken.
and we have made very little progress. In that case, let me explain everything from the very beginning again. The goal of this trial is to determine the culprit behind the serial disappearances case.
That case had nothing to do with him. You've got the wrong man.
Huh? What's going on?
Navia!
Why is she interjecting again?
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui harbingers.
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings. I only tolerated your behavior last time because you were able to provide the court with a key eyewitness.
He wasn't there. That's your evidence.
Rather than standard court protocol. I can very well charge you with contempt of court for your interjections.
Oh, please. Did you ever think I had any respect for this place's pointless theatrics?
I'll be right
can
back.
put
Give me
the
a second.
discussion aside for now.
Okay.
I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to charge the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. And if my charges prove true, then Tartaglia here will be proven innocent by default, correct?
Oh, a young lady has charged in and offered to clear my name. How fascinating. Well, I'd gotten half bored to death by all these rules and procedures anyway. So I'll take you up on that offer.
Oh!
So, Your Honor, is there nothing else for me to do now?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss Navia, who is the person you would like to charge instead?
That person is...
Oh no! So, Marcel Select, right?
Yeah. Because it said the person is...
head of Confrérie of Cabriere.
Huh?
Yeah.
What confrérie? Never heard of them in my life.
I've heard of them, but weren't they Spina di Rosula's sister organization?
See.
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Oh my gosh!
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia, that charging someone is an incredibly serious matter. Committing to the charge also means taking on the legal responsibilities associated with it. And if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances, you may also be charged with the crime of making a false accusation. Knowing this, do you still wish to charge this man?
See.
Yes, I do.
In that case, I declare the charge to be valid. Miss Navia and attorneys, please take your places on the court. Members of the guards, please contact Mr. Marcel right away so that he may stand trial.
Oh no, I'm sorry. But like, all
Mr.
the evidence
Marcel,
points to
You will not
you.
require an attorney. Is that correct?
Apologies. It all just happened so quickly. I still haven't figured out what's going on. I think an attorney won't be necessary. This is probably just a misunderstanding between me and Navia.
Very well. In that case, since both sides have now arrived, Miss Navia,
Whoa.
please present your charges.
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago, to the case of Callus the Unfaithful. Only through elucidating what really happened in that case, can we connect all the dots for the serial disappearances case?
Navia, do you really think that I was the one who killed your father? Come
Yes.
on, why would I do that? Callus was my benefactor, and remember, both you and I only ran to the scene when we heard the sound of a gun. If that's enough to make me a suspect,
One
wouldn't that make
gunshot. There
everyone
were
at that
two.
banquet a suspect as well?
Yeah.
I think there's no point in getting into the specifics right now. The audience doesn't even have the big picture yet. Even I'm struggling to remember some details of that case.
In other words, you completely forgot it.
Your Honor.
Yep.
I must refresh everyone's memory about that case before I can explain my charge and reasoning.
I see.
Now you're about to see what
In
I
which
meant
case,
by
I will recount the findings
Callus is
about
hot.
that case as originally
Oh,
reported by
goodness.
Maison
And I will
Gardiennage.
stick by that.
Oh, God.
On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of Cabrières.
Oh, wait, I forgot
During
you
the
had to click
banquet,
it.
all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. When the guests arrived at the scene, they found the primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun, while his acquaintance, Jacques, lay dead from a gunshot wound. The guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. As a result, they concluded that the suspect's first shot must have missed, while the second must have taken Jacques' life. The suspect did not dispute this conclusion.
Look at
and
him!
also declined to defend himself in court. Instead, he chose to prove his innocence through a duel.
Look at him. He has an eye patch like a pirate. It's so good. Do you see what I mean?
No.
Callus was defeated by champion duelist Clarand in the ensuing duel, and soon succumbed to the injuries.
All right.
I think you
let's...
still have a very good close-up.
About the case.
Wait till you get a good close-up of him.
Sure.
The one with the motive to kill was Jacques, not my father. And even so, Jacques still had no reason to pull the trigger. In truth, the third person shot Jacques first, and was shot in turn by my father when my father seized the gun from him. After that, the true culprit turned the third person into water, erasing all traces of him from the scene. Thank you for the summary, Your Honor. Of course, the guard's conclusion appeared quite sensible to us at the time.
Oh dear.
However, we should revisit the case now that we've gained new information about the abilities of water from the primordial sea.
Navia's turn.
Your turn. Yep.
Alright, on the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in the countryside estate owned by the Confrérie de Cabrières. We don't need to change that one, because that one is true.
Right.
2 gunshots. During the banquet, all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. According to investigations, Callus, who had a motive to kill, murdered Jacques for his betrayal, but is that really true?
Maybe you should pick the self-defense one.
There.
The testimony of the victim's family confirms that Jacques had thoughts of assassinating Callus when he set out for the banquet. However, in the end, he reconsidered and instead shared everything with Callus, hoping to seek the latter's protection. Unfortunately for Jacques, the true culprit had already considered this possibility and had sent out another assassin.
Okay. Scene of the crime. When the guests arrived at the scene, they found the primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun, while his acquaintance, Jacques, lay dead from the gunshot wound. Based on the investigations done then,
the gun one.
Yeah, there was no possibility that anyone else could have done the deed and escaped, and Callus was thus adjudged to have been the culprit. After conducting a reinvestigation, it is now certain that Callus did not bring a gun with him, and a third person was on the scene. What?
What? Not right.
Oh, because of the clothes.
This assassin first shot Jacques, then turned to shoot Callus, only for Callus to wrestle the gun from him and kill him instead.
The first shot must have missed, while the second shot must have taken Jacques' life. The guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. As a result, they concluded that the suspect's first shot must have missed, while the second must have taken Jacques' life. This deduction is based on the circumstances where there's no third person on the scene, but it turns out there's a method that can cleverly cover up the killer's tracks: the water.
A pile of clothing was found at the scene. The guards once believed they were used by Jacques as a costume to disguise himself. But now, it is clear that the clothes were proof that there was a third person at the scene, and that they were turned into water after committing the murder. Since it was raining that day, the culprit was confident that they could use the rain to wash away all traces of their dissolved accomplice.
Bingo.
Realizing this, the true culprit caused the hired assassin to dissolve into water, leading everyone to believe Callus was responsible for Jacques' murder. This is the true version of events.
Woo!
Bingo.
We got it! Let's go.
Ah, so that's what happened.
Wait,
you're telling me something as dangerous as water from the primordial sea has been used for all these years?
Yes.
What a great theory. It also explains Callus's and Jacques' respective motives. I guess they didn't shoot each other after all.
Huh.
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the crime. You should provide a rebuttal if you wish to prove your innocence.
Ah, but I think I agree with everything Navia just said. In fact, there was nothing in her speech that directly implicated me.
Then, may I ask some questions? In my opinion, we primarily need to determine two things. One, do you have the evidence to back up your claims?
D.
I'm
Oh, dang
afraid
it.
not. At least not at this very moment.
Boo! If you don't have any evidence, you should just go home.
Shut up.
I may not have the evidence myself, but I know where I could go to collect it. If we look up the deserted clothes against a record of people who went missing around the same time, we should be able to find a match. Considering the serial disappearances case, the guards probably kept careful records of all missing persons from around that time, regardless of age or gender.
That makes sense to me. Monsieur Neuvillette, I would consider this to be a reasonable investigative direction.
Why do I feel like Farina's acting a little differently today?
That is strange.
Probably to embarrass her last time.
Embarrassing herself again?
Alternatively, she's become more diligent after charging an innocent citizen in the last trial.
My second question has to do with the ensuing duel. If the truth is indeed as you described, then why didn't Mr. Callus explain himself in court? If he had testified that a person had been dissolved, he could have at least mounted
No one
a
would have
defense.
believed him.
I thought about
Yeah.
this too, and the answer is actually pretty simple. He felt there were things that were more important to him. The dissolving power of water from the primordial sea is an important secret for the true culprit of the serial disappearances case.
Yeah.
My father could have exposed it for all to see, but he chose to take it to the grave. At that time, Spina di Rosula was in dire straits, and his reputation had already been shattered. He had no guarantee that going forward with the truth would allow the culprit to be brought to justice. What was certain, however, was that it would paint a gigantic target on my back.
Boss once told me that Demoiselle had already been selected as the next target of the serial disappearances case.
What?
If the secret had gotten out, the culprit would have fought an all-out war with Espina right there and then. I wouldn't have been the only one in danger. All of us would have stood to lose our lives.
Yep.
Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the matter and determine that we were in the right. But what good would that do? How can a hollow verdict protect anyone? Had
They
this
don't trust the
opera house
government.
ever given
Yeah.
my father any kind of confidence in its brand of justice, Spina di Rosula would have had no reason to exist. But by
Bingo.
staying silent, we retain the ability to deter our opponents and continue the stalemate. I was able to become Spina di Rosula's president, which made me harder to target, as well as giving me more time to grow and learn. And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, I will do what this opera house cannot and restore my father's truth and honor back to him.
Yes,
I feel like she should be
ma'am.
our
I mean
con.
to say, your father intended to die in the duelist's ring?
Yes,
That's
he
right.
did.
Do you have any proof?
Of course.
We do.
All you need is to ask his opponent. Clarand! I don't need your apology, your guilt, or your support from the shadows. You don't have to do anything for my sake. But since he entrusted his will to you, Clarand, you should tell us the truth about his sacrifice.
So, during the duel, did you believe that Callus was intending to die?
Yes, I did. As a champion duelist, I've fought many battles and taken a countless number of dishonored lives. In my line of work, I've seen all kinds of people give their all for the faintest hope to continue living. Some were determined, others passionate, and some even manic and twisted. Just one look and I can tell if a duelist is hoping to live or if they're looking to die. I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callus never intended to leave the ring alive.
No,
That's
still
your
a lot for her to
testimony,
hear.
I have no more questions. It appears there really are good grounds to reopen this case.
The smartest thing
I
you've said
concur.
this entire
However,
quest.
Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link between your father's case and the serial disappearances case.
Right? What she said was fascinating, but kind of beside the point.
Wait,
getting there,
weren't
shut
they
up.
just talking about the serial disappearances case?
We're
Of
getting
course,
there,
Your
shut
Honor.
up.
The two cases are connected via a matter of timing. In my father's case, the culprit intended to kill both Jacques and Callus. As a result, they planned to act after hearing 2 gunshots. And, at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because they realized they were at risk of being identified. The culprit could only time their actions so precisely if they were already at the scene. Coincidentally, Marcel attended both the banquet and the trial.
Bingo.
So that's why you suspected me. Even after hearing your reasoning, I still can't help but find it a little preposterous. I'm used to it, though. You've always been an impulsive and sentimental child, Navia.
Impulsive?
It's one of your most
Jesus.
endearing traits.
Are you really
No
gonna
need
do
to
this
appeal
now?
to pathos.
I
Yeah.
won't try to refute your points one by one, but even if everything you just said was true, can you prove that I was the only person present at both events? On top of that,
Oh, please shut
does a
up.
person have to be physically present to control the timing? Can't someone remotely monitor the place?
Oh, Navia.
Don't second guess yourself.
I know that even with that, you might still think you can reduce the list of suspects with some further investigations until I'm the only one left on the list. Alas, who won't feel at least a little hurt by an accusation of murder from a girl you
Oh,
see as your own daughter?
you
But if I were
suck.
to dismiss this completely,
Manipulative.
you'd also think I'm not being considerate of your feelings. Ah well, let Uncle Marcel teach you another lesson. Do you know what the biggest flaw in your reasoning is?
I suppose you're gonna tell me anyways.
It's timing again. I'm a businessman by trade. From that standpoint, there's no reason for me to kidnap young women. It's a high-risk action with nothing to gain. In addition, I left my home in Snezhnaya when I was young to come to Poisson and work in some trade. My business only thrived when I received Callus's patronage. But the disappearances began before I ever stepped foot in Fontaine.
I do apologize, demoiselle. This was my mistake.
No, it's not your fault. I'm sure he had come prepared.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? Would you like to check the date of my first business license against the first known case of the serial disappearances? You can also take a look at my border entry records, or ask my friends and family when I left Snezhnaya for the first time. Could those records and testimonies do something to appease the unspeakable anguish in your heart?
Seems like she got the wrong guy. At this rate, Navia will be convicted for falsely accusing him.
Not
I
gonna
think you've done a superb
happen.
job of dissecting your father's feelings as he neared the end of his life. But aren't you going against all of his wishes and expectations right now? He wished for you to become more rational, collected, and conscientious, instead of
He's
dwelling
making me
only on
mad.
your own feelings. Once you've learned to be more
You know,
considerate of
I
others'
felt
feelings
bad for him
and to
near
stop
the end, and
rushing
you'll see
headlong
why,
into
but I
things,
don't
you'd
anymore.
have met most of his expectations.
I forgot about this before he, you know.
This isn't
Actually,
just
no, I
about
still
me,
feel bad for him.
and it never has been. The biggest difference between me and the rest of the victims is that I still have the ability to search for the truth, while that same agency has long been taken from them. The people whose families were destroyed by synth abuse, the people who lost their loved ones to the serial disappearances, and the people who suffered tragic ends due to their sense of justice. Many people's images are flashing before my eyes. I'm sure some are coming to those of you in the audience as well. And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vacher? Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard of.
Uh-huh.
I was waiting
Sure.
for you to say that.
Back to us to get the evidence.
A little while at the entrance to the synth production base.
After all that,
Oh, that's pretty.
we made it to the innermost sanctum. Though, as expected, the mastermind isn't here.
If I'm not if I'm not mistaken, he's being charged with Navi as we speak.
That's right.
Yep.
Then let's hurry up and find some evidence so we can get back to the opera house and help Navia.
Yes.
What's all this? Aw, it's a
Cute
bunch of really
things.
cute things. Pink accessories, a hair tie, a necklace, even a makeup box.
I feel like they're all from the... Oh, there's a name.
Paimon sees it too, but...
Because they're the victims.
Girls' names.
They're probably belong to the victims.
You mean the girls from the serial disappearances?
Was that a nope or a yep?
I said yep.
They were turned into water.
Oh
And
no.
all the boxes of things. These names. That means... Oh, this is terrible.
No. Anything over here?
I just love the little when you press the
Let's see what's written here. Detective Paimon's eyes.
the magnifying glass button. Looks really cool.
Navia's
I agree.
father. Oh, this seems to be an investigation report on him.
It's probably related to his and Jacques' case.
Yep, it's about finding someone to assassinate Jacques and Callus because of a lack of confidence that Jacques himself would go through with it.
Whoa.
This should prove the
Bingo.
existence of the third person, right?
Is there anything else?
We still have not determined the exact content of the key information Callus has passed on to certain members of his organization. The old dog's a real menace to deal with. Even if he abides by the promise he's made to us, he will still have the upper hand. He can act whenever he wants to make our lives miserable. The only option left is to remove him from the picture entirely. I concur. Let's send someone to kill him. He won't declare war as long as we don't touch Navia. Oh, seems like we've got a bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups.
They planned this well in advance.
They're all just so evil.
Just click the magnifying glass. Okay. Jesus.
What's this over here? Looks like some kind of place for research. Experiment number 16 aims to verify Jacob Ingold's research conclusions on the primordial sea and use his theory as a foundation to achieve a breakthrough. The experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea.
They were used as experiments.
22, 23,
Yep.
and 24 were dissolved.
Oh god. Calm down, Paimon.
Sorry, Traveler. Paimon will try her best. It's just...
And cruel.
Paimon's never read something so scary before.
It's cruel.
How can someone write something that terrible in such a matter-of-fact tone? You read the rest.
Yeah.
Paimon's too scared to keep going.
The goal of the researchers to save his lover, a woman called Vinier, who was dissolved.
So that's why he did all of these experiments. Wait, did he really think he'd be able to find a way just by dissolving people over and over? That's just insane!
Is
I
it
think the first
Vache?
Isn't that the name you heard by the fountain?
bingo.
Paimon thought he was an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case.
My thought
He's the
processes here is
researcher.
bingo. My thought process here is when oh
Vache
god.
is the one who did all of these experiments?
Okay, can I speak now?
Yep.
Okay, I was gonna say when this probably happened to Bashir, no one would believe him. Number one. Number two, because the disappearance in cases hadn't happened yet and no one had any proof of it.
Yes.
Number two,
yes.
If this happened to you with like a loved one and you just couldn't find a way to solve it and people didn't believe you about it, maybe the best way you could save that loved one is to make people believe about it. So keep doing it over and over again, or you get so sick of being alone and the feeling that someone just disappeared that you love so much that you start doing it to other people. It's very twisted, but it's a very serious situation with some people. Like when their loved ones die, they feel the need to make the other person feel the same way.
Yeah, he signed off on a bunch of the reports.
So that's it. Vache was no victim, but personally took his lover and... No, that's not it either. If that's the case, why would he want people to resurface from the water?
There must be more to this.
Case, Paimon will write it all down. Whoa. There's so much synth here. And so many bottles of ingredients that probably just contain the waters of the primordial sea.
There's so many.
Mixing in progress. Ready to drink? Stock sample? Huh. They've also got all the synth pretty clearly labeled.
That's pretty good.
There's even fruit-flavored synth.
Oh, that definitely proves that this is where they produce synth.
Yep, it's super obvious. Oh, look! There's an important-looking basin over here.
Is this all synth? Oh, it's water from the primordial sea.
This is where they make all the synth. And that special water is the main ingredient. If you dilute it with normal water, you'll get synth. But the pure stuff can dissolve a human. Paimon will take notes on this incriminating evidence.
Take out the camera.
Just not us, because we're not from Fontaine.
And it seems like our theories were spot on. But
who really is Vache?
We haven't found anything that reveals his true identity. No wonder even Nervalette wasn't able to find anything. Whoever it is probably destroyed everything to do with that name a long time ago. That way, even if we bring all this back to the opera, we won't be able to identify the true culprit.
Clever, but maybe not clever enough. Let's look again.
Paimon won't admit defeat to this guy either. You take that side and Paimon will take this side. Check everything carefully. We'll find something for sure.
After some time.
Nothing at all. And Paimon can't even find snacks either.
You wouldn't even want to eat the snacks found in here. It's underwater and in a cave. Paimon, I found it.
Really? Let Paimon see. Vinier. Isn't that Vache's lover's name?
Yep.
Then you found her diary. Let's see. Aw. It's just a normal diary chronicling their love story. She was so sweet, too. Oh, Paimon feels even worse for her now.
He made a list of baby names. Can't even read that.
That's what that one says.
A whole page's worth. But they're all crossed out. Was she unhappy with all of them? The final name she decided on was Marcel.
He's the son!
Marcel's pretty old. Has this case been going on for so long that he's Vache and Vinier's grown son?
I figured it out. Let's go.
Hey! Paimon still hasn't figured it out yet.
Let's
go.
I'm telling you, it's not their son.
And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vache? Oh.
It's not the son. Marcel's not the son of them. I'll tell you that much.
Okay.
Say the name of
I thought
I've
so at first, but
never
that's
even
not
heard of.
true.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Navia, we're back!
As
expected
Bingo.
of my partner. I just knew you'd return in the nick of time.
Hello, Navia.
Just how often do you intend to flout the rules of this court?
It's all right,
As
Monsieur
many as it
Neuvillette.
takes.
Given their confidence, I expect they've found the crucial evidence.
Yes.
Bingo.
You say you've never heard of Vacher.
Pick the diary.
Vignere's notebook?
Yep.
But the truth of it, Marcel, is that you've always
Ah.
been Vacher.
There were two possibilities.
Huh?
Yeah, he took the name of his wife, his
Of
deceased
his-
wife's
of his-
like son's name.
Yeah.
After your lover, Vignier, was dissolved, you kept abducting young women to experiment on the hopes of bringing her back to you. You even created Marcel as a new identity and destroyed all records of your past as Vacher.
So that's it. Even the villains in opera performances rarely go that far. And with that, Marcel's motive has now been established. This
All right.
information regarding your past also dismantles your prior timing defense. Well, Marcel, do you know where you went wrong? You fixated your gaze on the lover that passed away, instead of paying attention to the living people around you. So, you never noticed how we changed, or how we grew as individuals.
You also
Bingo.
never understood Boss's real expectations for his daughter.
Or our determination to see things through.
Hmm.
Your determination.
Mr. Marcel, please speak up now if you would like to defend yourself. Otherwise, the trial will move on to the next stage.
Do you really think I wanted to do any of this? Pay attention to you? What for? Have you ever paid attention to me? Ever empathized with my pain? Ever known how it feels to watch the love of your life dissolve right in front of your eyes? No one helped me. No one even believed me. All those decades ago, even the officers from the Maison Gardiennage were laughing at me. They said there's no way a human being can turn into water. So I must have gone mad from grief. Vignier's death was brushed away by all of you as if it didn't matter at all. Well, now you know, don't you? Ha! Well, it's too late now. All those who were dissolved are gone forever. You only have yourselves to blame. You set up this ornate opera house in pursuit of your so-called justice, your beloved drama, while turning a blind eye to the suffering of the people.
I mean, he kind of has a point,
Vignier
though.
is dead.
Yeah.
We promised each other that we would always be together. Wherever she goes, I will follow. But I'm not from this blasted place, so I can't be dissolved. No matter what I do.
Oh,
Did he drink it?
Is that water from the primordial sea that he's drinking?
he's drinking
I can't
synth or
dissolve.
something.
Can't dissolve! Can't dissolve! Do you all
Do you understand why I said I
can't
kind of feel
go.
bad for him?
Yeah.
Go where she is. What choice do I have but to try to bring her back? I did all of that, and in the end, that accursed
You're about to feel a lot
Callus
worse
still
for
got the better
him in a
of
bit.
me. I spent my entire life living on pins and needles, only to get stabbed by his idiot daughter at the very end.
He's not an idiot. Screw you. Screw you in
No,
that
he's
regard.
calling the
Exhibiting
daughter
signs
an
of mental
idiot.
distress. Guards, please restrain him.
Don't touch me! Don't anybody come near me! I still need to save Vignier. I promise.
Oh, we're gonna tell him, aren't we?
Vignier!
No, because we know.
Don't think badly of me. All I want to do is fulfill our promise.
Are we gonna tell him
At
about
this
what
point,
we
the
heard?
verdict of this trial is clear. With Mr. Marcel's conviction, the charges against Mr. Tartaglia no longer have any basis.
Yay!
Fine by me. I was in a bad mood, but after a show like that, I'm actually feeling pretty good.
Child, Jesus.
Please submit all the evidence
I was
you have
about to
collected
say,
the
it's
guards,
pretty harsh.
so that I might review and summarize the truth behind the serial disappearances case.
Yeah, here you go.
The man now known as Marcel was originally named Vacher and worked as an adventurer with his partner and lover Vignier. During an underwater expedition, Vignier accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea and was dissolved in front of Vacher as a result. Vacher learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others and began to kidnap young women for research, with the goal of discovering a method to restore Vignier back to life. To cover his tracks, he invented the new alias of Marcel and began to operate a business in Poisson. During the course of his research, Vacher discovered that a diluted concoction of water from the primordial sea can induce feelings of euphoria, and began to manufacture and market synth. However, as he accumulated wealth to fund his continued research and expanded the scope, he came into conflict with Spina di Rosula. After exchanging blows with Spina di Rosula for many years, Vacher decided to assassinate their president Callus at a banquet. Although the assassination did not go as Vacher expected, he was able to turn Callus into the murder suspect by dissolving the assassin he sent to the scene. And just recently, Vacher attempted to frame Linny as the culprit of the serial disappearances case, using a similar method. However, his attempt to frame Linny failed, and the power of water from the primordial sea became public knowledge. This case also exposed enough of Vacher's machinations that he was eventually successfully charged in court. Thus concludes the enigmatic history of the serial disappearances case, with the truth revealed to all.
Jesus.
The oratrice will now deliver the final verdict regarding the charges against Mr. Vacher.
Boop.
According to the judgment of the oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinale, Mr. Vacher is guilty.
Ah.
Guards! Take Vacher away.
Good. It's what he deserves.
Shut up.
With that, the serial
Get out of
disappearances
here.
case is over
All
now.
of you people who think this is just
witnessed history.
Ugh.
Who would have thought the
This
true
is just
culprit
who
would be
all
such
of
a
you who
polite
think this
and
is just a
well-spoken
show,
guy?
get up and leave.
Yeah.
Bring the bad guy to justice! He's hurt so many innocent people and now he's finally getting what he deserves.
Yeah.
Huh? Are you
Yeah.
okay?
Navia.
She
Demoiselle,
cleared her
you are
father's name.
absolutely brilliant.
The day our late boss had always hoped for has finally come. You can rest easy now, knowing justice has been served.
It's all okay now.
Yeah. It's finally over. It's all thanks to you guys. And my partner.
Woo!
See, Papa? Spina di Rosula's still doing well with me at the helm.
Well now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama?
Okay, child,
The
that's
villain has
enough.
been
Sit
caught,
down.
Justice has been served, past wrongs have been righted.
I just
and
cleared
it's a
your
big
name.
ol'
You
happy
gotta
ending.
sit down, dude.
Since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the
Did you?
false accusations against me slide. Either way, I've still got some business to attend to. So, if you'll excuse me...
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
What did you do?
What now? None of this has anything to do with me.
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated due to a charge against you, a verdict must also be made regarding the initial charge before the trial can conclude.
Oh, come
So,
on. Is
so
this
not
really
guilty,
necessary?
right?
Haven't you already caught the real
Not
criminal?
guilty, right?
Isn't it time for side characters like
Innocent,
me to exit
right?
stage and left?
That's up
Please
to the
respect
machine to
laws of
choose.
Fontaine. This has always been the rule.
All right, all right.
Yeah, the
This
machine
sure is a
heard
lot of
everything that
hassle.
just happened,
All I
right?
need to do is stand over there, right? Let's just get
So it
this over
shouldn't
with.
say that he is guilty.
Through evidence presented in the public
But,
trial that was just held, it has been
it's
established
gonna
that Mr. Tartaglia has no direct
it's gonna
connection to the
put him
serial
into the
disappearances
guilty
case.
box, isn't
The
he?
guilty party has been identified, and thus it is logical to suppose Mr. Tartaglia
But
is
for
innocent of
what?
the charges.
If
We
you
now
had seen the
turn to
trailer, you would have
Oratrice
realized at some
Mécanique
point the
d'Analyse
machine
Cardinale
breaks.
to render the final verdict on the
Oh
charges.
no.
Which means,
According
Guilty.
to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Mr. Tartaglia is guilty.
For what?
Hey,
he's not,
hey,
though. He has nothing to
that's
do
not
with the
funny.
case.
Didn't you just say I'm supposed to be innocent?
He has nothing to do with the case.
What's with this verdict? Is your justice machine malfunctioning?
Huh? This has never happened before. The Oratrice actually returned a different verdict from the Chief Justice.
It broke.
I mean, have you ever heard of an innocent Fatui Harbinger?
Shut up!
Do you think the Oratrice might have just convicted him on general principle?
But weren't the charges about the serial disappearances case? No matter what else he's guilty of, it shouldn't affect the verdict in this case, right?
Just what
The
is going
judgment
on?
of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale is, by law, the final verdict of the court.
Change the law!
We must accept the guilty verdict.
Get rid of the stupid
Guards,
machine!
Please take the suspect into custody. Per
This
court
is
protocol.
so stupid.
Here we
He did
go.
nothing.
Oh, poor child. I'm sorry, man.
Oh, dude.
So this is how justice
He
is done
doesn't
in
have his
Fontaine.
vision.
What a
Oh,
joke.
he's gonna use his delusion. No,
You've got
buddy.
your rules.
It's fine. It's gonna get
Well,
shut
I
down
got
really
mine
quick.
too.
Don't worry about it.
Oh dear God. No. Stop.
Not Final Legacy. It's
No, stop
fine.
it.
Don't worry about
Stop
it.
it.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's gonna get shut down real quick.
Thank you, Neverlet.
And another Fatui Harbinger gets their asses kicked.
I am sorry. If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court must be upheld.
Oh,
Even if they're
no.
wrong, though?
Even if they're wrong? Oh, he got cut. You okay there, dude? This is so stupid.
Monsieur Neuvillette,
Yeah.
what's going on? Shouldn't they have been cleared already?
Apologies. This is also the first time I've encountered such a situation.
Fix the stupid
However, according
machine!
to the rules established at the conception of Fontaine's court system, the Oratrice's judgment is the final verdict of the court.
The machine's clearly
All I
broken!
do is follow court procedure. As for why the Oratrice arrived at the conclusion it
Pedro
did,
Archon!
you
It's
should
finally
probably
time
ask
for you to be
someone more
useful!
knowledgeable
Change the
than me.
law! If we have no choice
very
but
much
to ask
be
the
made
Archon. Yeah.
Why are you looking at me? I had nothing to do with it.
You ruled
I
Fontaine!
don't know what happened there either. Hey, stop staring at me!
Okay, first
But
time you don't want
said
people.
that you-
By that.
Ugh.
Yeah. People said that you made the machine.
Yeah.
So
She
you
has
must
no
know it.
idea either, but that's impossible.
Exactly.
Create the Oratrice herself?
Yeah, so are the
This is
verdicts
so
reliable or not?
stupid.
Can results like this really be called justice?
It broke! It's your machine, so fix it!
My dearest citizens, did you really think we'd allow an incorrect verdict to be handed out in this court? Did you really believe that the judgment could be mistaken?
Yes, because
or
you're
Yeah.
the
incompetent.
result of some
Mm.
sort of
If this
random
machine was made by you,
mishap?
I'm not surprised if it
Don't
breaks
tell
every now and
me.
again.
You thought even I had been blindsided by the Oratrice's result.
Even though you were.
The way she looked just now, it was pretty obvious she had no
Because you
idea
have
what was
been.
going on.
However, given the state of things,
I want to
shall
Bingo.
punch
give
her
you
right
an
now.
explanation. Everything that just took place, including my supposed shock and bafflement, was a part of an elaborate performance, with every action meant to stir
Gee.
up drama and excitement.
She really did
And,
just do that,
of course,
did she?
for every performance, there is a script. Everything has unfolded exactly as I expected from the very beginning. As the embodiment of the very concept of justice, the Oratrice shall never render an arbitrary judgment! If you thought
I think it just
child
did.
had nothing to do with the serial disappearances case, it is only because you've been blinded by the superficial appearance of innocence.
Because he is, you dumb.
Not to mention the danger he poses, are
I
beyond
shall allow
ordinary
you
comprehension, and all shall be
just
revealed
this
in
once
time. You will
to
come
curse
understand
and
my
call
noble
her what she
intentions,
deserves
as
to
well
be
as the
called
absolute
I
after
get a
she's
free
done.
one?
You get to use this is an exception this time. I will bleep it out later.
You are a lying bitch. You deserve to be shoved in a pipe. You annoying little shit. I hate you. Okay, I'm done.
Okay, you're done? Cool. It's time to
I'm
bleep
done.
that out later.
Now, having said that, although I hate to leave things hanging in suspense, it is now time for this performance to end. As the lead actress, I shall be the first to take my leave.
And she runs away! She runs away immediately!
Yeah.
You...
So she chose to make her escape after all, did she?
knows!
Even
So
newbie.
you're saying we shouldn't put much stock into what she just said?
Yeah, pretty much.
I wanna
probably just
punch
put
her
on
and
that
shove that
performance to
blue
save
bow down
face.
her throat.
As for the truth, it's unlikely that she
She's
actually has any
annoying!
idea.
She's like
Yeah.
the worst character.
Please be assured that I will continue to investigate this case in a personal capacity. Just as I promised, if the judgment has been incorrect, we will do our utmost to clear his name.
Better.
Alright. Even though we feel pretty badly for him, we'll take your word for it for now.
And until then, no one use the
After all,
Oratrice.
he's done plenty of bad stuff, so he should have known he'd go to prison someday, right?
But not for this case.
I mean, yeah, he didn't do this.
He didn't
He has
do
a little
anything.
sister at home. He would never do anything like this.
There we go. Let's get this over and done with so we can exit and I can go, like,
Hey, what are you doing? Quick, stop him!
I don't know what.
Traveler! Hey! Traveler!
Sleep?
Marcel! What are you doing over here?
Or should we call you Vache?
Stop resisting arrest! Cease, or we'll add another charge to the list.
No, wait! I just want to ask the Traveler something. I'm not looking to run away. Please, just let me ask this one small thing.
Go on.
Thank you.
Nugula is a lot more understanding than everyone else.
Yeah.
I was being led away when I finally realized something. Where did you first hear the
Oh,
name
we
Vache?
tell him after all.
Yeah.
I erased all records of that name. So, unless...
We heard...
Are you still trying to prove your innocence? Give it up. You've already been convicted.
Yes, I met her.
Really? You did? You're sure? You met her? But how could that be? How did you manage to do it?
Friggin' flabbergasted. He looks like he's about to, like, punch something out of shock. I don't know. It was
Yeah.
around the Fountain of Lucine, something to do with my sensitivity to the hydro
Fountain of
element.
Lucine? Then she's been so close to me
Look
all
at that
along.
face!
And I just never... Please give me a chance to talk to her again. Just let the Traveler take me to the fountain to see her one last time. This is the last request I'll ever make in my life. You can do whatever you want to me afterwards. I don't care.
What? Give an inch and you want to take a mile? Do you think serial killers get to make requests like that?
Paimon agrees. Why should we give him what he wants when he's only done a ton of super terrible things?
This request, is it worth as much to you as your life?
Of course! Wait, no. It's worth even more than my life.
Humans. Will they betray the
Oh,
instinct
you're
to
not.
live
Well,
just
yeah,
to
because you're not
satisfy
human, but like.
spiritual needs?
See.
Very well. I will grant your request.
Your Honor.
See, he's
I
so
fear
much
that-
nicer than
Yeah,
everyone
he's a
else.
lot
ever.
nicer.
You do not need to worry about any escape.
There you go.
In that case, I shall leave him in your most capable hands, Chief Justice.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
He's a very passionate and sensitive judge.
Yes. I simp.
Is this the place? You said she's here, but what do I need to do to see her?
Back then, I drank water from the primordial sea. It heightened my sensitivity to the hydro element.
Yeah, and even Paimon could hear her after drinking that thing. Didn't you just drink a lot of it on the stage as well? Oh, in that case...
Vache!
Ah!
Yes, that's it! So you heard it too!
Vinier, it's me! It's me, Vache!
Vache? Vache?
I'm here! I'm here! Where are you, Vinier? I'm coming for you. I'm finally
Here we go.
here for you.
Hey, wait! Be careful!
Oh, is he gonna drown?
Vinier, is that you? It's me, Vache! Vinier!
Vache? Why did you come? Didn't I say? You don't need to look for me. You look a lot older than I remember. How long has it been?
It's been more than 20 years. I've suffered for over 20 years since the day you left. All this time, only the thought of bringing you back has kept me alive. Nothing else mattered to me. I must be dreaming. Who would have thought I'd get the chance to tell you all of my feelings like this? Vinier, you are my everything. I really don't know how I could live without you.
He's just a broken man.
Vache, if you ask me, this world would be better off without you.
Oh.
What are you saying?
Here we go.
For you, I would have finished my law degree and probably become a top-tier attorney one day.
Is it his inner thoughts?
If not for you, I would have continued to pursue my love of the arts, and my works would have been displayed in the Palais Mermonia itself. If not for you, I would at least have been able to take care of my mother. And she would not have grown old and died alone, with nothing but the tears on her cheeks. It's all because of your selfishness, Vache. It's all because of you.
You... Wait, you are not Vinier.
You're right.
Just wait.
I am not Vinier.
Oh.
The sacrifices. Every woman who died by your hand, as our bodies dissolved, our consciousnesses flowed back to the primordial sea. Our thoughts circulated endlessly within the primordial sea, and we were no longer individuals, but we became one, just as streams of water come together in the sea.
Oh boy.
I'm Cressy. I'm Lemony. I'm Azine. The only one I am not is Vinier.
Why? But then, where is Vinier?
She doesn't want to see you anymore. Every tendril of her consciousness is avoiding you. This is what you get for your selfishness. Your selfishness robbed us of our lives and our futures. You said time and time again that you'd do any and everything for her. But did you ever consider whether she'd want to see you do the things that you did? If she would despise you for what you became? You are a liar, a heartless murderer, and a cowardly narcissist. The only thing you are not is Vinier's beloved. From the moment your first victim died and her consciousness merged with Vinier's, she has had nothing but pure hatred for you.
Yeah,
Looks like I
told you I
didn't
felt
meet
bad for
Minier
this
back
guy.
then either. They must have wanted to lure Marcel here from the very beginning.
No.
Yep.
Yeah. She can't hate me. Let me see her. Please. Have mercy.
You
She
still
just
don't
said.
understand. When I said don't look for me, that came from the real Vignier. She really doesn't want to see you anymore. But on top of that, she also said that because it's her final drop of pity for you. She said that because she knew that if you did come here, we will show no mercy to you.
Oh, goodness.
Here we go.
Oh, God. That's why. Oh. Later, the guards found the culprit of the serial disappearance is something something something. I didn't get to read it. Did he
Do you want me to go
drown?
get it for you? Hold on. Tell
Did
me.
he drown?
Hold on.
Just summarize it if you can find it.
Hold on. I'll just read it out loud to you.
Finally, we have some time to do shopping.
Well met,
Hey,
partner.
Navia.
I knew something great was going to happen when I woke up in such a good mood today.
Even this weather can't put a damper on the demoiselle's mood.
Can I read it
It's
to you
a
now?
pleasure to see you both again.
See.
So it says later, the guards find the culprit of the serial disappearance woman's case, Marcel, appearing to have lost his soul. The final report from the physician states that he died of a massive fright.
Oh.
So he didn't drown.
He
just
didn't
lost
drown.
His...
I'm guessing a heart failure sort of type thing.
Yeah, lost his soul and was literally scared to death.
Because of all the souls he had taken.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, God. Ooh. Ooh, that hurts.
Yeah.
That hurts.
Yeah. Broken man, even more broken.
He deserves it.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Navia. It's been a few
Girl
days.
power
Paimon's
getting
already started to
revenge.
miss you.
That's the wrong kind of girl power, but I guess it works.
Oh, now that I believe. I'm easy to
Is it
work
raining
with
right now?
and always
Yeah.
bring home the bacon. Who wouldn't
Mm.
treasure having a partner like
I
me?
wonder why.
Sounds
I don't
like
know.
you're really
Why?
enjoying life these days,
Oh,
Navia.
Jesus.
What have you been busy with since the trial?
Just wait for it.
It's just been one thing after the other. I've been making non-stop trips between Poisson and the courts in Seine. Everyone from Spina di Rosula organized a memorial for my father. We never held a memorial when he first died, since everyone knew that even if we held one back then, no one was going to come.
Oh.
This time, though,
That's
everyone in
sad.
Poisson, and even many people from the court all attended.
That's good.
So his name's definitely been cleared now. That's what we like to hear.
It's been the
Bingo.
dearest wish of Demoiselle all along.
That blasted stubborn fool. I was right to put my faith in him. I'm so glad I didn't give up on the case all those years ago.
Things turned out as well as they could have.
Oh, by the way, I ran into Charlotte just after I left the memorial service.
Hey.
Well, maybe it'd be more accurate to say I knew she would be there, and there was no way she'd just let me go.
She needs it for the
So
steam
you
bird.
know Charlotte too? The Charlotte? Journalist from the Steambird?
Yeah, way back when I first became the president of the Spina di Rosula, she was all over me. Wouldn't take no for an answer. I believe the story was called The True Heart of Darkness, Secret Tales of the Yellow Rose. To be fair, though, it was a really flattering feature. So, we've been on pretty good terms ever since.
That's
she was
good.
trying to lean on our friendship to
That's
get me to
nice.
do an exclusive piece on the serial disappearances case.
Oh yeah, she told us about that. She's always been super interested in that case, so now her wish has finally come true too.
Yeah.
Anyway, I told her to make sure that when she writes about you guys entering the opera house with the critical evidence, that you both sound really cool.
Now that's another thing to look forward to. We trust Charlotte's skills with a pen for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
and in other news, I also took Clarand out for a meal.
Pause. Pause.
A date?
Pause. Pause.
A
Pause.
date?
A
A
date.
date?
A date.
Yes.
That
A
was a
date.
date.
That's what
That's
I'm
a
saying.
date. That's a date.
Yeah,
That's
just
a
you
date.
two going out to
That's a
dinner?
date
That's a
going
date.
out together? Just two ladies having a that's a date, ma'am.
Are you on better terms? Oh yeah, no,
Better terms? Oh yeah,
they're on
great
great
terms.
terms.
We're just poking fun, but maybe, hopefully, soon, huh?
Yes. We have a lot more
canon?
updates to come out for
Canon?
Fontaine.
Canon?
So
Canon? Maybe soon? I don't know.
please.
While you were investigating Vache's headquarters, Clarand gave testimony on my father's behalf. It was thanks to her that we were able to turn the tide. I wanted to thank her. I mean, there's also no point in being awkward all the time. So we took the chance to reconcile with each other.
That's nice.
Oh, that's great. Paimon also thought Clarand wasn't actually a bad person. It's always good to have more friends.
Anyway,
That's,
now
yeah,
that the
that's
case
Just
has
friends?
finally been solved,
Just friends?
perhaps it will slowly begin to
You gotta
fade from the
stop.
public consciousness.
I know. But on
Actually,
my ship, and I
there's
want to
still
see
one
it
last thing I
sail.
need to do.
What is it?
I should pay a visit to my father's grave and tell him the truth of what happened, as well as how it all ended. And on top of that, just how much people still look up to him to this day. That includes me, too.
Miss Navia.
Indeed.
Can I come too?
We want to go too. We also think Callus is a really admirable person.
Yeah. He gave up his
Sure
life
thing.
for his daughter.
I'd like you two
That's
to share the moment
probably
with me.
one of the more pure
After
things that a
all,
person can
without
do.
you, there might not have been such a positive ending.
Yeah,
In
because
that
we
case,
carry
everyone,
everything.
let's be
Yeah.
Considering
We're the
the recent weather,
traveler
we'll
best.
be lucky if we can reach Poisson before dark.
Yeah, you're right. It's been raining non-stop for a few days now.
Yes.
Raining nonstop for a few days now. I wonder why.
So, who's crying? The dragon, right?
This is where my father's grave is.
Yes.
But, like, who's the
To be
dragon?
perfectly honest, even I haven't
You'll
been
find
back
out.
here for a long time.
Huh? There's someone there already. Wait. That figure. It can't be.
Who?
Isn't that Nervalette?
Oh.
Why would the Chief Justice be here? Huh?
He's the dragon!
Finally.
He's the dragon!
Jesus Christ.
He's the dragon!
Jesus Christ, it took you forever to get it.
I
My
didn't
apologies.
know!
I should have asked before coming to pay my respects.
Gee, he doesn't actually
Don't
cry,
say
but
that.
his emotions affect the rain.
Sorry about that.
Oh,
He's the
I
dragon.
was trying to say
Listen to
there's
what
no
he
need
says
for you
in a
to
bit.
apologize. I wanted to show my father how much I've grown, but still, I doubt I've grown to the point that even the Chief Justice would feel compelled to apologize to me over and over.
In that case, I will stop apologizing for now.
You really could use some pointers on understanding human emotions, Monsieur Nervalette. In any case, why did you come to Poisson?
Well, ever since that day, I've been turning a question over and over in my head. Just what is justice anyway? There was once a time when I didn't want to believe that there could be anything more important to humans than life itself. Oh, rather than that, it's probably more truthful to say I didn't believe humans were capable of resisting the most basic instinct of living things. That they could rebel against their own nature, or consider certain things to be more important than their own lives. Which is also why I didn't stop your father from beginning that fateful duel. I believed that a truly innocent man would never throw away his life like that. That there was nothing, should have been nothing more important than one's own continued survival. But Mr. Callus proved me utterly and decisively wrong. If not for his sacrifice, the serial disappearances case would have remained unsolved to this day.
Yeah.
Mr. Callus made the choice he did for his daughter, for his associates, and for many people completely unrelated to him. And in the end, from a certain perspective, one could say that he did it all for the sake of justice. a justice that's higher than life itself. So, you asked me why I came here. I just wanted to say my apologies to Mr. Callis in person. I should have noticed all of this much sooner. This regret has filled me with a sadness that has haunted me for days. Your high and mighty chair in the opera Epiclese indeed insulates one from many important things. Spina di Rosula, thank you so much for your hard work and perseverance.
I'm sorry for being mad at you before. So, you're actually one of those types that's cold on the outside, but pretty thoughtful on the inside, huh? That reminds me of Silver, one of my guys.
Do you get it now?
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Self-expression is not one of my
He
strong
can't
suits.
express his feelings through that, so he does it through the weather.
Say you don't need
And every time he goes to court, he's sad that he has to prosecute someone.
Why?
Also, this hints a little bit at why Zhongli's on the banner with child. Why is that, do you think?
Not sure.
Because Zhongli's a dragon man to put the pieces together.
I don't know.
Did Paimon do anything rude there?
Wait for it. Click that.
Well, you're usually not supposed to fly around someone's grave.
Paimon didn't know that was a thing. But Paimon doesn't know what she would do if she can't fly.
Walk.
Oh no. Paimon hopes Miss Navia won't be too mad.
Wow, she took it seriously.
Traveler's face.
I know.
Still standing around there.
Go talk to Navia first.
Like this, so why don't we go talk to him for a bit? If we can't talk to Lady Farina, we can at least talk to him, right? Paimon's really sorry, Navia, but Paimon did something pretty disrespectful just now.
No, you didn't.
What are you saying, Paimon? I don't think I get it.
Well, aren't you not supposed to fly around someone's grave?
Huh? Who told you that?
He did.
Hey, Traveler! Why did you mess with Paimon again?
Yeah.
Oh, it's you two. Did Miss Navia invite you to come pay your respects to her father?
Mm-hmm. We ran into Navia on the streets today, so we just followed her here.
I see. Then is there something that I can help you with?
Well, it's pretty hard to run into you like this since you're usually super busy. So we figured we could try to ask you a few questions, if that's okay.
Yeah, help us
Please
find our
feel
brother.
free. Though outsiders, you helped us solve one of the greatest mysteries in Fontaine, and it would be my pleasure to return the favor.
I have no more questions.
Very well. It was my honor to provide you with what answers I could. I very much enjoyed conversing with you. It will soon be time for me to leave this blissful
I like talking to you too,
tranquility
Dragon Man.
and return to Palais Memoria.
You really are super busy, Monsieur Neuvillette. Paimon thought you only came here to pay your respects today because you had the day off.
Crime and villainy do not have the day off, and so justice must work around the clock as well.
Also, he lives
This
a
is
lot longer,
merely
so he
the
can
nature
just
of a
do
justice's
all the
work.
crap he likes.
All right. You've got a point. Huh? Paimon just noticed
Oh, he feels happier now.
Yeah, because he's around us. He was talking to us, and that's when the rain stopped.
Oh.
I was wondering to see if you'd noticed that.